Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto all 5 chakra nature's harem. Before I start, please support for more amazing content, and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by SyncroX and link in the description and support writer. Let's start the video. Chapter 1 Life. I want to run. Get the demon. Don't let him escape. I want to hide. He's right over there. Corner him. I want to tear down the walls that hold me inside. Alright. We've got him now. I want to reach out and touch the flame. Wait, kid, you're gonna die if this keeps up. Kill him. Kill the demon. Blue eyes brightened with intensity, glaring at all those who dared come near him. His muscles tensing, his whole body filled with chakra. Rage was clearly felt throughout the street. I want to feel sunlight on my face. Yet why? The mob were confused. Why was the face filled with sorrow? I watched the dust cloud disappear, without a trace. Some in the crowd left, apparently overwhelmed by the pain emitted from the boy, and guilt filled their hearts, making them reconsider their opinions and thoughts. I want to take shelter from the poison rain, but the rest of them, consumed by hatred and anger, attacked me. Kid, it's October the 10th, my birthday. Kicks and punches rained down on the poor kid, villagers beating him from all directions. Some even used iron pipes, and the chunins involved had gone as far as using brass knuckles. You bastards! Kid! Hang in there. Why? Why is this happening to me? You don't deserve to live, you filth. Just because the QB is sealed within me? You're a demon. Or just because the whole village is too ignorant to look past the basics. Die. I'm just a kid, a 7-year-old kid. Some of the mob had turned their attention to the kid's apartment, and began to vandalize it, destroy it. And they dare call me a demon? Foolish mortals. Should I feel sad? Should I feel hatred? Should I feel anger? They had broken into his house, and began smashing up the interior. Yes, I should, but I won't. I will not give up. All of a sudden, gasps were heard, and in front of them stood a livid old man, wearing a hat with the kanji shadow on it. I will believe in those that are precious to me, to save me, and accept me. Hokage-sama. We're just. Silence. You, how could you? How could you do this to a mere boy? How could you? I trust him, with all my heart. Look at him. Is he the demon you are so afraid of? Is that the state of the almighty QB? Look at him. I will overcome this. You insolent fools! Taking out your anger on a child and disrespecting the legacy of Yondaime. Despicable! I will become Hokage, and protect everyone. Take them away, lock them up for a week, and send the chunins to Ibiki for punishment. Strip them of their shinobi titles. Now go! Hi, Hokage-sama. Because I am Uzumaki Naruto. And that was the last thought that came to mind as the blonde-haired boy fell into a blissful darkness. He felt calm and peaceful, something he had not felt for a long time. He had decided, ever since the old man told him what Hokage stands for, he has vowed to work as hard as he could to protect the village. This village. Konohagakure. I will believe. Scene change. Where am I? What no? What did you say? Stammered the girl with pale blonde hair. I'm not your friend anymore. Goodbye. Her lips quivered and she rushed at him, grabbing his arm. But why? Why won't you play with me anymore? Did I do anything? I'm sore. No, you did nothing. Don't ask why. I just can't. No. The girl could do nothing as she watched her best friend dash away from her, running down the streets. She didn't understand why, and tears were flowing freely as she dropped onto the ground, on her knees, and cried. No! That's not what I wanted. No! Where are you going? Asked the pink-haired girl, whom he had just saved. I can't tell you, but just remember, always treasure your friends. Come on, there's a girl that really needs you. Please don't, not again. But what about you? I want to be friends with you. The boy merely shook his head sadly as he ran off once again, leaving the dumbfounded girl on her own, with another girl, who was playing with the slides all by herself. I'm sorry! Naruto-kun! Naruto-kun! Are you alright? A white ceiling came into view as his eyes flashed open, his breathing rough and his heart beating at a ridiculously quick pace as he took in his surroundings. So, I'm in the hospital again. He took in the worried face of the Hokage and the tense stances of the Umbu behind him and gave a genuine smile, before calming himself down. Aji-san, I'm fine. Sandaime Hokage breathed a sigh of relief. Guilt and pain tore through his heart as he remembered the desperate cries of the boy, begging for forgiveness, and yelling that he was sorry. What kind of a Hokage am I if I cannot even protect him? Naruto examined himself and chuckled bitterly. Well, looks like I'm back to normal. When can I be released? The old man sighed as he took another puff out of his pipe and replied, "You're free to go anytime you want, but given the state of your house, I'm fine with it." Those words flew out of his mouth, causing shocked looks to be sent at him, but he didn't care. He just wanted to be alone for now. The guilt was wrecking him, and he didn't want to worry the Hokage over trivial matters like this. Sarutobi looked at him, before giving a slight nod. "All right then. But Naruto-kun, please be careful. And also, could you drop by my office tomorrow? There is something I want to give you." Naruto gave a slight grin, before edging himself off the bed, and as painful as it was, forced himself to limp back towards his house, or what's left of it. The dog Mastambu made a motion to help him, but was stopped by the Hokage. "No. Leave him be." "But Hokage-sama. The state he is in, surely he should stay." I know, Kakashi. But what he needs right now isn't rest. He wants to be alone. He needs time to think and forget." Half an hour later, Naruto arrived in front of his apartment, ignoring the graffiti and the broken door. He made his way in and stared at the scene in front of him, before he made his way into the bedroom. Gently prying away the debris on the floor, he reached under his bed and pulled out a small box. He bit his lips and slowly opened it, taking out a scarf and a fox plushie he got for his birthday last year. It was one of the best ones he had. He chuckled as he wrapped the scarf tenderly around the fox plushie. Then, he carried it in his arms and sat on his bed. Tears were brimming in his eyes, yet it wasn't because of all that he had been through an hour ago. No, it was because he had broken a promise. "Kit," Naruto gave a sigh, before placing the plushie down and got into his meditation position. "All right, I'm back, Fox. What do you want?" "Humph, this is the tone I get after healing your injuries? It was your fault that I'm even getting injuries in the first place. TCH, whatever. Look, I don't usually do this. But I want you to know that I sympathize you. Just take it easy, Kit. I mean, never mind. Never was any good at this kind of stuff anyway. Thanks, Fox. I really appreciate it. Well, I would be dead if it weren't for you. Now, as we agreed, you shall now be able to work on your chakra nature manipulation. But for now, just rest, Kit. Don't want you to overstress yourself. The old man must have something to give you. Might even be a good birthday present. Go, what the hell do I care? I swear you've been rubbing off on me. Well, next time then. Bye. Wait, Kit. Happy 7th birthday. Thanks, Fox. And with that, Naruto left the cage and returned back to reality. He sighed as he got up, knowing that he was going to have to clean this all up. And just like before, he searched out a snapped broom and a dustpan, and began the tedious cleaning procedure. Welcome to my life. Chapter 2, Surprise. Help. Help. Anybody. Don't worry, I'm fine, cough. But you're bleeding and he gave her a wide smile before slowly pushing himself up off the ground. Really, I'm fine. He tried to make a pose but soon stopped due to the immense pain it was causing. Really? Her beautiful cerulean eyes widened. He chuckled and nodded before asking her, You alright then? She quickly nodded, but that worried expression just would not leave her face. Mum says that injured people have to go to the hospital. No. I'm fine. Nothing to worry about. He was caught by surprise when the girl hugged him tightly, shouting, Don't lie. You're hurt. You're hurt. Yeah, I guess I am. His eyes flashed open, the loud noise echoing in his brain, scattering his thoughts as he was awakened abruptly by his stupid alarm clock. Grr, if only I could get one that's less annoying, he grumbled as he stopped it, and stood up, thinking about his dream, or rather, never mind. He sighed before remembering, oh right, the old man wants me. Better hurry. He took a quick shower, pulled on his clothes and made a dash for the Hokage Tower. There they were again, those hateful glares, those disgusting leers. Naruto willed himself to run faster, closing his eyes as he rushed through the streets, not wanting his day ruined first thing in the morning. At the Hokage Tower, holy was all Naruto could manage as he saw the huge line outside the door of the Hokage's office. He slumped his shoulders. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. And he sighed as he accepted his fate and stepped behind the 151st person and waited for the line to move on. Yet, just then, his savior appeared. It turned out to be the Hokage's secretary. Naruto-kun. Hokage-sama is waiting for you. Come now, run along. Her smile was genuine. Naruto loved this lady. She held no grudge against him whatsoever, seeing him for who he was, and treated him with respect even. Arigato, Izumi-ne-chan. And with his trademark grin, he accepted her hand and allowed her to lead him. He knew when not to act like a dumb idiot. Now was definitely the time, especially when 150 diplomats were eyeing you with jealousy, and contempt for being in front of them when they had waited for 2 hours at least. The door opened, and he immediately changed back to his usual vigor, just so that the Hokage didn't worry about him. Ohio. Ji-san. What do you want to see me for? The Hokage smiled warmly at the presence of this blob of energy, as he would call him. He was afraid that the event before would have traumatized the boy. However, it seemed that he surprised him this time. Indeed, there wasn't a time where I didn't get surprised by him, and with that thought in mind, he chuckled as he took off his hat. Naruto returned it with a grin, because he felt more at ease, now that the old man stopped worrying. He already had so much on his shoulders, he shouldn't have to worry about minor stuff like me, so what's he up to? Sarutobi motioned for him to follow, and activated a seal on the wall. Kai! And with a poof, a door appeared, giving it access to Hokage's library of jutsus. Naruto's eyes widened at the sight of all those scrolls in front of him, rubbing his eyes repeatedly to tell himself that it was indeed the real deal. He looked at the old man questioningly, wondering what the hell he was up to. Sarutobi merely smiled, before ruffling his hair. Go on, pick one scroll from each section. Treat this as your birthday present. All the scrolls here are not forbidden, and though they are pretty much C rank and above jutsus, I'm sure you'll have no problem learning them, with the help of. Naruto gaped. Really? 3 scrolls? Any 3? Sarutobi laughed at the boy's enthusiasm. Indeed, any 3. But first, it can only be chosen by you, no help allowed from the fox. Treat this as a test. Are we clear, Naruto-kun? Naruto nodded without hesitation, mentally reaching out to his tenant, Baka Kitsune. You heard that right? Yes, I heard him. Now shut up and let me sleep. Naruto then grinned and gave a thumbs up, signaling an OK sign to the Hokage. He was literally giddy with excitement. Finally! One actual taijutsu kata! And ninjutsu! Oh yeah! Sarutobi couldn't help but chuckle at the boy's excitement. Just like his father, jumping at every opportunity to learn a jutsu, Naruto took a deep breath, before going over to the ninjutsu section, and peered over at the huge amount of scrolls laid in front of him. He had been taught by Inu-san before, on the basics of ninjutsu, and had since found out that he had more types of chakra affinities than anyone in Konoha. However, that makes things pretty complicated, yet useful at the same time. He remembered his words. Now, Naruto, having all 5 affinities is something extremely rare. I had expected wind, however, lightning and fire were the ones where I thought you might get, whereas earth and water were, well, unexpected. But still, you have this rare ability to control chakra natures, thanks to a certain tenet of yours. The ability to mix the natures shall give you an advantage in the future. But for now, let's get on with the basics. Naruto almost sweat dropped when he remembered what Inu-san had told him. God, he had spent an hour lecturing him on the basis of chakra and why it was so important. He was bored to death at the end of it, and had never been so glad to get rid of the umbu. However, he still learned a fair lot. He had come to acknowledge the fact that lightning, water and earth were underlying affinities that are hidden in a way. Fire and wind basically were his primary elements. He chose for a while, before settling on a mid-B rank defensive wind jutsu, Futon, Kaze no Fukumen, wind element, wind veil. He noticed the amused glance in the Hokage's eyes as he chose that one, and knew he had made a logical choice. Hell, he should have. Since the age of 5, Naruto had came into contact with Kyuubi, and had the shock of his life. His intellect and reflexes had increased drastically due to constant mind quarreling with the stupid fox. When the Kyuubi finally gave up in trying to act all nasty, seeing how this was going nowhere, Naruto chuckled as he remembered the look on Kyuubi's face. Think about it anymore and I won't give you one drop of my chakra when you need it. Ha! You have to give it to me, whether you like it or not. Seal, damn you. Arg. Annoying brat. Meh, like tenant, like host. What the hell was that? Yeah, just shut up. I swear, one day, when I get out, you'll be the first to die. You mean it? Ha! I knew you didn't. Why you? Naruto snapped out of his conscious, and quickly rushed over to the genjutsu section, not wanting to waste more of the Hokage's time. This part was fairly simple. He already had in mind what jutsu he wanted. He picked up a low B-rank jutsu, Ninpo, Akiraka Jisiki, ninja arts, clear trace. Ho, just what he needed to help with his pranks. This technique allows the user to completely mask one's trace, as the name suggests. Technically, one becomes invisible, however, it can only be used for a short period of time, and though useful, one has to completely lower their chakra levels, making it quite troublesome to perform a jutsu straight after. This technique is mainly used for infiltration purposes. Infiltration indeed. Hope the Hyuga stuck-ups enjoy it. But better not push it. Hayashi-san seemed pretty angry after that last trick. Lucky he can't prove it was me. And finally, the long-awaited section of taijutsu. Interestingly, there were quite a number. However, Naruto instantly caught sight of a genjutsu placed in the area. He raised an eyebrow in confusion, looking over at the Hokage, seemingly asking him what the hell is going on. Sarutobi smiled as he watched Naruto figure out his puzzle. He nodded and gave him the go-ahead sign, wanting to see if he could dispel it. Naruto focused, just like Inu-san instructed. Concentrate, blow off the surrounding chakra layer quickly, in one swift motion. Now, Kai! And at once, the genjutsu faded, leaving the originally empty table with a huge scroll on it. He walked over to it and inspected the title, Taichi Jusen Shiki, Taichi Fist, 13 Styles. He looked it over. The scroll seemed old. The faded ink marks on the sides showed that it was recently unsealed. Kit accepted. The old man actually allowed you to learn this style. Good decision. About time too. Can't stand the way those bullies see through your punches. Ugh. Naruto ignored the snide remark and picked the scroll up, no longer hesitating, and walked back into the Hokage's office. Sarutobi motioned for him to sit, and began, in a very serious tone, Naruto-kun, do you know why I allowed you to pick 3 scrolls from this library of mine? Naruto scrunched up his face, trying to remember, but in the end, answered with a no. Sarutobi grinned, just like him to forget all that he did for others. Well, Naruto-kun, Hyuga Hayashi has not forgotten how you helped save his daughter. At that, Naruto slapped his hand onto his head. Of course. Hinata-chan. How can I forget? Flashback. 5-year-old Naruto was taking a stroll in the forest on the west side of Konoha, trying to digest all those ramen he ate. He was happily enjoying nature when suddenly, he saw a huge man carrying a small bundle. He got curious and asked Kyubi about it. Kyubi immediately recognized the bundle as a girl from the Hyuga clan. He then advised the kid to try and stall the man for time, whilst the actual Hyuga guards arrive. Naruto didn't even think twice about it, and charged at the man, yelling, "Put her down! You thief!" Now that, coming from a 5-year-old, was as bad a curse as it could get. The Kumo-nin sneered at him and brushed him aside with a strong punch, or tried to. It had taken all of Naruto's chakra to stick himself onto the arm of the Kumo-nin. As the nin looked stupefied at his performance, he took the chance to use a chakra-enhanced punch and smashed it right into the cheek of the Kumo-nin. Even though it didn't seem much, it had hurt like hell. Kyubi had intentionally sent some of his chakra to amplify the power of the punch. Naruto quickly grabbed the girl from the Kumo-nin's arms before he smashed into a tree. He tried desperately to wake her up, recognizing her as the girl that was so very shy, one of his first ever friends to be made at the playground. Hinata-chan! Hinata-chan! In his anxious acts to wake up the poor girl, Naruto forgot one vital fact. The Kumo-nin was still able to move. Right-on, Hibana! Thunder element, spark, instantly, a huge blast of electricity blasted Naruto off the ground, launching him into the air. Luckily, his reflexes allowed him to push Hinata out of the way in the nick of time. But then, he was in the air, totally defenseless. Teach you to mess with me, brat. It's over. Right-on, Shigeki. Thunder element, shock, and once again, as that familiar feeling of paralysis filled his body, he gritted his teeth and willed the Kyubi to heal his wounds, if only temporarily, and with some difficulty, he managed to land back onto the ground, though somewhat awkwardly. He was panting and gasping for breath, yet he took out that kunai Hokage-sama had given to him as a present just a month ago. He held it in front of him, glaring intensely at the Kumo-nin, as though daring him to take a step forward. His gaze was filled with life and determination, that the Kumo-nin stopped his onslaught. He knew those eyes. They looked so familiar. He began to tremble. No way, no! He's dead already. No way! Naruto had no idea what the heck he was talking about, but knew it was his chance. Desperately trying to remember the correct way of flinging a kunai, he took one quick step forward and placing all his remaining strength into that one throw and whoosh. The Kumo-nin reacted just in time, however, the kunai still embedded itself in his right shoulder, causing an angry scream to be emitted from him. His temporary fear seemed to disappear and he roared, "You'll pay for that!" Naruto held out his arms, standing protectively in front of Hinata as he watched the Kumo-nin charge at him, full speed. He closed his eyes, as though waiting for the inevitable, when suddenly, a loud scream of pain was heard and a thump followed. Naruto slowly opened his eyes, only to find a beautiful woman with long blue hair and pale eyes without pupils staring at him in concern. He could handle it no longer. He fainted. Flashback end. Naruto scratched his head as he chuckled lightly, clearly embarrassed at his defeat. The Hokage watched on, amused. Now, Naruto-kun, there is no need to be humble. As a 5-year-old, you held your own against a 30-year-old Kumo Jounin for 15 minutes. That's an honorable achievement. The Hyuga never forget, be it those that harm them, or those that help them. Till this date, Hyuga Hitomi still insists that you live with them. Naruto immediately shook his head, his serious nature kicking in. You know I can't, Ji-san. I'll just cause them more trouble. Hitomi-sama has been very kind to me over the past 2 years, and even before that, she helped me whenever she could. Sarutobi nodded, good choice, even if I hate to admit it. It will indeed cause them problems with the council, and so, Hayashi-san thought up another way of repaying you. Look at that taijutsu scroll once more. Naruto opened it slightly, reading the first few lines, Tai-chi Jusen Shiki, combination of strength, speed, defense, and fluidity. He raised an eyebrow, and looked at Sarutobi, expecting answers. Now, Naruto-kun. Hyuga clan specializes in their taijutsu, Juken, gentle fist. That style originated from the style you have in front of you. Tai Chi, however, it merely picked the soft aspects of that style. As you know, the Hyuga clan deemed themselves a smart clan, preferring technique over raw power, and therefore, refined several aspects of their chakra control, combined it with a part of Tai Chi, to form the Juken. Naruto's eyes widened to the size of dinner plates after hearing that the scroll he had in front of him was even better than the Juken. Now, Naruto-kun, this scroll is dedicated to you, and only you. You may teach others if you want, but only after you've completely mastered this style. Also, I'm expecting a couple of surprises from you. Don't let me down. Naruto grinned and gave a bow. Hi, Hokage-sama. And was just about to go before the Hokage stopped him. Oh dear, I am getting old. You'll need this jutsu to help you. It's an A-rank jutsu that's perfect for you. Naruto opened it. Huh? Kage Bunshin no Jutsu? Shadow clone technique. Indeed, now its uses are for me to know, and you to find out. Get training, young man. Ha! And with that, he dismissed the young blonde and sighed as he realized that he had to now listen to 150, possibly more, arguments, treaties, suggestions, blah blah blah, with Naruto. Oi fox, which one should I study first? How would I know? I had no need for your petty jutsus. All I required was my chakra and my chakra natures. All shall burn before me. Whatever. Are you mocking me, kid? Humph, one day, I'll show you what I can do. Maybe by destroying you. Alright, cool down. Geez, just a remark? Now, which one should I begin with? Well, I reckon you should try the one that old senile just gave you. Sounds very useful. Try it. Naruto gave an unconscious nod, before speeding over to his usual training ground, number 15. It was isolated, on the east side of the village, with hardly anyone going there, due to its lack of facilities. Yet, the vast amount of space was just what Naruto needed. He placed the scroll down, and began studying over the first scroll. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, A rank, offensive, requires maximum chakra and medium chakra control. Jounin class. Whoa, old man must trust me to give me this one, but I reckon it's simple. Huh? One seal? Yes. This is going to be easy. I doubt it, Kit, you couldn't even do a single Bunshin. PFT, you just shut up and watch. Naruto quickly read over the instructions of how to direct his chakra flow, and within 5 minutes, he had gotten an overall idea of it. He formed a cross mark with 2 fingers from each hand, focusing, directing all his chakra to that specific point, visualizing duplicates of himself, before shouting, Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, and as expected a huge cloud of smoke covered the area, just like what happened when he did the basic Bunshin, yet last time, there were only sickly and frail visions of the clones. This time, whoa, I got to hand it to you, this jutsu is perfect for you. Indeed it was, for standing in front of him, were 2 exact copies of, well, him. He stared at them. They stared back. So you're me? No, that's my question. Hell no. I'm the real one here. Whatever. You're just a clone. Hey. I have feelings, you know. So? They don't last. Oh, you're going down. Try it. You're on. If there's one person on this planet that could have an argument with himself, that person would be my dumb vessel. Surprising indeed, Uzumaki Naruto. And so, a very ferocious spar ensued, and amidst the fighting and laughing and fun the Naruto was having, he couldn't help but thank whoever it was that helped him so. The tears that filled his eyes were actually due to happiness, even if it was due to sad memories. He had gained something precious once again. Thanks for letting me remember what it feels like to play with friends once again. Chapter 3 Family. Hey, why are you alone? The girl asked curiously as she watched the blonde boy sighing on the swing all by himself. Huh? Oh, you see, he looked at her, hesitating whether or not to tell her. Well? The girl smiled a little, putting on a gently expression as she waited patiently for him to answer. I have no friends. No one likes me. That's why. He mumbled, not wanting her to see the pain behind his eyes. He quickly faked a grin. But don't worry, I'm all right. The girl pouted and placed her hands on her hip. But you're not. The boy looked at her, surprised. What? Everybody needs friends. Come on. Let's play together. I'm Ino. You can call me Ino-chan. I'll be your friend. The girl smiled widely as she held out her hand, genuinely accepting the boy. The boy looked shocked for a moment, before his lips quivered. You want to be my friend? Really? You would do that? The girl gave an enthusiastic nod. Of course. Well, what's your name? The boy finally smiled, but this time, with a few tears in his eyes as he spoke out loud. I'm Naruto. Nice to meet you, Ino-chan. Kit, you really need to do something about this dreams of yours. Whoa. Kyubi? What the? Yep, and you need to do it fast. I know how much she means to you, but can't you see that pushing people away is not the solution? I'm not pushing people away. Least, I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm not strong enough. I can't protect those that are precious to me. Well, then I'll just have to make sure you train harder now, don't I? I refuse to let my vessel drown himself in misery. I'll never live it down, okay, whatever. But yeah, should I up my gravity capacity? Well, currently, you're undergoing level 5. I reckon you could jump straight to 8 today. We need to focus on getting the styles right. Sure thing, alright, time to wake up and get some training done. It's been 2 months since Naruto last got the scrolls from Sandaime Hokage. He has currently mastered the Genjutsu Akaraka Jisiki, Clear Trace, and he had been so kind to decorate the Hokage monuments using that jutsu that even the Umbu had no idea who had done it. Kyubi had done his part by teaching him gravity seals. Level 1 is the basis for all shinobi, meaning they train under normal gravity. Every time you increase your level, it doubles the gravity field, forcing your muscles to adjust. Normally, this would be suicide training, however, with Kyubi's healing factors, it worked wonders. No longer were there baby fat on Naruto's face, his arms and legs were much more muscular than before, and he had found that it even helped with his chakra control exercises a lot. Kage Bunshin had been an immense help. Naruto had figured the trick behind it very quickly. However, it was by pure luck that he stumbled upon the godlike opportunities this technique presented. Flashback. Naruto had summoned a Kage Bunshin to keep him company as he began his training. He would spar with the other him as he worked through all the styles of taijutsu, one by one. Ryu, Dragon, Tora, Tiger, Kijuki, Crane, Hibi, Snake, Shurshur, Lion, Saru, Monkey, Washi Eagle, Kijira, Whale, were the basic styles. The advanced section, or basically the styles that mix up all the above mentioned into 4 more complicated and powerful styles would be Ryusei, Meteor, Suki, Moon, Taiyu, Sun, and finally Tentu, Heaven. Ryu, Tora, Shurshur, Washi focuses on strength and power. Kijuki, Hibi and Sara focuses on fluidity, flexibility, technique and speed. Kijira focuses solely on defense, stamina and to train one's mind. Ryusei is a combination of Tora, Washi and Saru. Suki is a combination of Shurshur, Kijuki and Kijira. Taiyu is a combination of Washi, Hibi, and Ryu. And Tentu, combination of Ryu, Kijuki, Kijira and Tora. Tai Chi Jusenshiki combines speed and agility, with strength and defense, totally different from the original Tai Chi fist. Chapter 1 clearly states that to master all the styles would be foolish, for one's body can only adapt to so many types of trainings, and if beyond a certain point, muscles will contract and relax at the most inopportune moments, and eventually cause the whole body to break down. The final 4 styles act as a guideline, to show the combinations possible. And it is highly recommended that one trains in no more than 4 styles at the most. However, there has yet to be one to master the Tentu style, for within it contains the essence of all aspects of combat. And of course, Naruto, being his stubborn old self, immediately decided to train the Tentu style. And so he started straight away, carefully reading up the positions and ways to use the strength. Currently, Naruto had no problem with Tora and Kijira, seeing that his stamina was off the charts and his strength was good enough, to say the least. However, Ryu proved to be challenging as it used more than just power. It required precision, accuracy and above all, control. Kijuki was even harder. Control was the main issue. Fluidity was okayish for Naruto, and speed was acceptable. Today, he was working on Ryu no Kami, Dragon style, and his clone was helping out, when he accidentally used too much power, smashing the clone into another tree, causing it to go poof in a cloud of white smoke. Naruto sighed as he walked over to the tree and looked at the damage he caused. However, before he even reached there, What oh, so that's why I blasted him off. Psi control went off on that strike. Wait a minute. How did I know that? And then came the brilliant discovery. Kage Bunshins, shadow clones, transfer whatever information they gain during their existence to the user once they are dismissed. And this if used for training WOH, flashback and so, Naruto began. He first created 5 clones, getting 3 of them to work on the Kajuki no Kami, whereas he himself and the other 2 continued to go crazy over the frustrating Ryu no Kami. 5 clones became 10, 10 became 20, 20 became 50, and in just 2 months, Naruto was able to efficiently train alongside 50 clones, gaining an immense amount of knowledge every time they disappear. The rush of information to his head was handled by Kyuubi, preventing the data overload from affecting his nervous system. It had sorted out everything as quickly as it could, and soon, Naruto found that he was on the verge of mastering Tentu style. And he wasn't exactly surprised. What's more, Kyuubi had informed him that the pinnacle of taijutsu was to be able to use one's chakra nature to help him out. As for Naruto, Kyuubi had merely smirked and guffawed before telling the kid to leave him alone and hurry his training. Oh, surprises, surprises. And so, he trains 8 hours a day. 8 times 51 gives 408 hours a day. And 408 times 61 days? 24,888 hours, yeah. That's a lot of training done in a mere 2 months. His usually crappy chakra control has been refined by Kajira no Kami to the point where he could stick himself onto surfaces and not slip. Now, that worked brilliantly on the Hokage when he walked into the office via the ceiling. His chakra capacity increased daily, and having the gravity seals on was just an added bonus in his training regime. The calories he burned off due to training, he got them back by eating at least 10 bowls of ramen at Ichiraku every day. His allowance from the Hokage increases over the years until he is deemed able to make a living for himself, i.e. when he becomes a genin. There was one place, however, that he would visit quite frequently. The Hyuga Manor. And here he was again, back at his second home, as he would call it. He had just finished a day of training, and had decided to drop in for a visit. The Bunk Branch family, guards knew him well and treated him as an equal. Now that, coming from the almighty Hyuga clan, as Naruto would call them, was a big thing. However, Naruto detests the laws implemented on both the Soke, main family, and the Bunk members. In his opinion, the seal was just downright cruel, and the main family members have to train themselves to the point of exhaustion just to make sure they do not dishonor their clan. However, not once did Naruto voice his opinions, but everyone could see his apparent disapproval whenever he's visiting. Like right now, as he passed by several rooms, the intense training undergone by the members could be seen clearly. It was unnerving, and how some even have the nerve to blame it all on fate. Ugh, that just totally puts me off. He had seen Hyuga Niji, who had ignored him from the start, determined that he, Naruto, was a mere weakling who had chanced upon an opportunity to rescue Hinata-sama, and therefore had the backing of Hayashi-sama, and it was all because of fate. Honestly, Naruto had never heard so much bullcrap from anyone since he was born. After that speech, Naruto could only stuff his fist inside his mouth, to prevent himself from screaming out in rage at the pure stupidity and cowardice that this guy was showing, and the way he was treating Hinata and Hanabi was no better. He treated them like dirt. Manners, yes, he has them, but his glare was enough to show that whatever polite terms he had used were totally insincere. He could not understand why Hinata just had to be so kind, and poor Hanabi, not even understanding why her cousin was so angry. She was still a toddler, yet already, she was beginning to train under her father. He had heard something about how Niji's father died, but never ventured on any further. Upon seeing the hurt in Hayashi's eyes, Naruto sighed as he shook his head. Damn, I think too much. Oh, here we are. And sure enough, there he was, standing outside the room, waiting for permission to enter. Which of course, he got within a second, but that's beside the point. Come on in, Naruto-kun. Naruto obliged and quietly slid open the door. Hyuga Hitomi was 31 years old, with long flowing navy blue hair tied up in a white ribbon. Her skin was silky white, something that Hinata picked up. Her eyes were kind and her touch was always gentle. She was the most caring person Naruto has ever known, besides Sandanji-san, of course. She wasn't stiff and strict like Hayashi was half the time. No, she genuinely cared about people's well-being. She treats Naruto as a son, and that is something Naruto will never forget. Whenever he had troubles, he confided them to her. She was one of his precious people, definitely. Hinata and Hanabi would follow close behind, especially Hanabi, who had taken to him immediately, grabbing his blonde hair and giggling as she played with it. Hinata was like a younger sister to her, and he swore that he would protect her if anything ever happened to her. One thing that never changes for Naruto is the fact that he always keeps his promise. And because of that, he has gained the trust of the Hyuga sisters and their parents. As he was indulged in his train of thoughts, Hitomi smiled and said, "So, what brings you here, Naruto-kun?" He snapped out of his trance and gave a tired smile. "Well, something's bothering me." Hitomi knew that smile. It was his "God-damn-it, life sucks" smile. If you could even call that a smile. She sighed and motioned for him to come closer, before hugging him gently and listening to his woes. Naruto had told her before those dreams he had. She and all the other parents knew the truth behind what he did, and wanted to explain to their own children. But Naruto shook his head, telling Hitomi that it would just make things worse. The problem with Naruto is he thinks about the others too much. Not just that, he rarely cares about himself. So selfless, so gentle and caring. You wouldn't expect such quality in a boy at his age. Naruto-kun, why don't you accept Ino as your friend once again? I'm sure she'll forgive. No. I can't. Last time we were friends, those Chunin were about to beat her up as well. I like her, Hitomi-sama, I really do. But in Sakura-chan too, I can't do this to them. This is my burden, so I'll carry it myself. This is my story, and no one else can change it but me. I'll do whatever I can to protect them, even if it means that they'll end up hating me, I'll do it. Naruto's eyes shone with such determination that Hitomi couldn't help chuckling at. He's so much like him, like they said, like father, like son. Okay then, Naruto-kun. Well, do you feel better now? Naruto grinned and gave a big nod. Yup. Arigato, Hitomi-sama. Hitomi sighed and gently tapped his forehead. How many times have I told you? There is no need to call me Sama, I'm not that old, you know. Well, Obasan isn't any better in my opinion now. Hey, Baka. Hitomi then took out a brush and began to gently comb his hair. Naruto-kun, I've always wondered what having a son was like. Naruto froze, his heart threatened to stop beating any moment. Is she? I would like you to become my son even if we're not related by blood. I would still like to be able to call you my Sochi, son. Do you accept me as a sort of surrogate mother? Can I have the honor of you calling me your Hahaya mother? Naruto began to tremble. He was just about to speak, before Hitomi spoke once again. No, Naruto-kun, I know what you're thinking. You told me once that you do not want to be adopted, and that you like the freedom you have. And I agree with you and respect your decision, but don't you think that even the mightiest of birds would need to return to their very own nest to rest their wings? Tears were threatening to fall any second. He bit his lips. But the council. Hitomi shook her head. You are not of the Hyuga clan. They can't do anything about it. We can't adopt you, even though I've been trying for years to be able to do that, but that doesn't mean I can't love you as a son now, does it? She smiled warmly. Besides, I'm sure Hinata would like to have you as a brother. Hanabi too. They adore you, Naruto-kun. Hitomi now, come on, Hayashi, say something. Naruto whirled around, shock evident in his eyes as the leader of the Hyuga clan. Hyuga Hayashi was standing right there, smiling slightly. What is your surname, Naruto? Naruto raised an eyebrow, before answering. Uzumaki, sir. Do you have any blood relationships with the Hyuga clan? No, sir. Have you been taken into our custody? Not that I know of. Well then, I don't see anything wrong with that. Now come on, Hinata, Hanabi, say hello to your new brother. Hayashi stepped aside, revealing two girls who smiled brightly before dashing into the room and latching themselves onto Naruto. Anakin. Older brother. Naruto gave a slight yelp at the sudden weight increase on his body and fell onto the floor, with Hanabi giggling nonstop, cuddling him like her teddy bear, whereas Hinata merely hugged him gently and gave him a genuine smile. Hitomi and Hayashi laughed at the scene before them, especially when Hanabi began to plait Naruto's spiky hair. It was hilarious. In the end, Naruto had allowed her to do it. However, whenever his gaze met with the two of them, a mutual understanding was established. Arigato Kazan. We love you, Naruto-kun, as much as Hinata and Hanabi. Never ever forget that there will always be ones who care for you. Never forget that. And even though it might not have seemed very special to the Hyugas, seeing how they were already treating him as a part of the family, Naruto had found something precious once again. He had 4 more precious people to protect, and that made him happy to no end. So what do you say? Be friends with me? Ino-chan. Arigato, Naruto-kun. Can will you be my friend? Sakura-chan. Yes, I will. But not yet. I will train to be stronger, until I'm sure that I can protect you, but for now, please forgive me for not being able to return your friendship. Chapter 4 Mayhem. Ha-harg. Smash. Not bad, but it still needs refining, I reckon. But great job so far. Your form and nature manipulation definitely came a long way, Gaki. Naruto was panting as he eyed the damage done to the poor tree by his very own original jutsu. It was incredible, and he was proud. However, he knew that wasn't all. The jutsu had the potential to end up as an A-rank assassination jutsu. The speed it requires to charge and execute was a lot faster than some other jutsus. Kyubi had told him where his fire affinity came from, and since 8, where he met her, he began to train like crazy, doubling the number of Kage Bunshins he would use, now averaging around 200 a day. It was a magnificent way of training. Kyuso arg, I'm exhausted, groaned Naruto as he slowly sat down on the forest ground, resting against a tree, as his mentor grinned sadistically. Oh, come now, Gaki, you don't want me to double your training regime, do you? Naruto sighed. Look, leave me alone for just 2 minutes, okay? I'm not kidding. She raised an eyebrow. Humph, seems like you have a limit too. But nevertheless, I am amazed at your progress. Naruto-chan, how much further do you think this jutsu can go? Naruto grunted at his nickname and replied, I reckon I may finish it sometime soon, a few days maybe, and don't call me that. She smirked widely. Oh, is little Naruto-chan all grown up and independent now? Is he so strong that he can ignore his oh so caring Nichan? Naruto snorted. You've got to be kidding me. Caring? Right, you didn't seem to mind that you were throwing 50 kunais per minute at me when I was just an 8-year-old, and making me run around this crazy forest, trying to stop you from literally killing me. You can still call yourself caring? Yup. And with that, she took out another stick of dango and began to eat it, clearly ignoring Naruto's earlier comment. Naruto growled in frustration. If there ever was such a freaking annoying woman in the world that I absolutely have no idea how to get her off my nerves, it would be Mitarashi. Enko, with Hanabi and Hinata following closely behind Ugg. However, said woman was happily engorging herself in the pleasures of consumption, and couldn't care less about what was going through his mind. It all started the year before. Flashback. Naruto was training in the patch of forest just next to the fenced-off area named Training Area Number 44. He had already got his Tentu style down, and began training on his ninjutsu. His futon, Kaze no Fukumen, Wind Element, Wind Veil, can now be executed in the blink of an eye. Kyubi is now guiding him through the ways of manipulating chakra nature, mainly how to control fire. Naruto was exhilarated when he managed to create a blue flame in his palm. He created a small C-rank fire jutsu for himself and had even gotten the Hokage to approve it. He named it Katon, Shikaku Fire Element, Crimson Flame Ball, due to the fact that it was literally creating a small ball of fire within your palm. You can adjust its size depending on your control and chakra capacity, and let's say, you wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of it. Yes, and that was the start of his very own collection of original jutsus. He currently had 2 on the list, well, technically 1.5, but meh, details. Who needs them? And so here he was, training diligently, trying to think of another jutsu that could help him, and that was when he saw 2 kunoichis appear on the side of Training Area 44, arguing intensely. From what Naruto could pick up due to his slightly enhanced senses, it seemed as though the black-haired woman was ranting about how she finally had the chance to get revenge, and how the snake bitch was going down. And without warning, the purple-haired female was struck right in the chest, and just as she was about to block, her friend had slammed a kunai into her shoulder, pinning her to the tree. Naruto raged at the sight of that. He hated those who looked down on others, and he did what he thought was right. He charged up his Shikaku and took aim. Haha! Didn't see it coming now, did you, Enko? Even the Hokage got fooled by me. All I had to do was pretend to be a goody girl and he let me team up with you. That old senile. Now Dai! And just as the psycho was about to plunge the kunai into her heart, Naruto flung his fireball as hard as he could, right into her back. The fiery chakra ball detonated on contact and sent the kunoichi flying into the fences surrounding the area, effectively knocking her unconscious. Naruto actually forgot to gape at his jutsu's power, and rushed to help the purple-haired woman pinned to the tree. He had inwardly yelled at Kyubi for help and the fox had grumbled the reply back to him. So he did as he was told. He channeled some fire-natured chakra to his fingers, and tapped multiple spots that Kyubi had pointed out. The woman looked surprised at Naruto's ability to temporarily close nerve points to lessen the pain. What's more, the fiery feeling she got was oddly comforting, soothing her nerves. And when he pulled the kunai out, it didn't even hurt. Little did Naruto know, he had just learnt one of the most effective ways of treating a kunai wound. It was Umba class, and a definite knowledge required. Of course, it was rarely used in times of combat, seeing how you do not have the leisure to be busy tapping yourself when the enemy could be throwing more kunais at you. But off the battlefield, it was a necessity. The woman watched on amused as the kid busied himself in getting the kunai off, and muttered, "Who are you? Why are you helping me? Naruto merely grinned as he successfully removed the obstacle and placed her onto the ground. He gave a sigh of relief before wiping off the sweat on his head. Inu-san, I know you're there, and as expected, Sedumba jumped into the clearing and ruffled Naruto's hair. I swear you're getting better at this every day. Now, Naruto, I need you and Anko to come with me to see the Hokage for a moment. 5 minutes later, he got the shock of his life. He had just assisted in an A-rank mission. Him. An 8-year-old kid. Hulu. The purple-haired brunette turned out to be a Tokubetsu Jounin, Special Jounin, Mitarashi Anko. Inu-san was supposed to lead his squad as backup. It was a plot to capture that spy from Iwagakure, hidden village of stone. The Hokage had commended him on his help and said, Now, Naruto, a few days ago, remember when I asked you whether you would like a mentor to help you in your training? After receiving a very enthusiastic nod, Sarutobi smiled. Well, since you both met, I guess introductions are in order. Naruto's eyes widened to the size of plates. He just saved his new sensei? Whoa, yo, you did pretty well back there. What's the name? Gaki? Uzumaki Naruto. Future Hokage. Oh, ambitious aren't we? Yep. Well, guess it's you and me now. You ready, Gaki? I won't take it easy on you. No problem. Flashback end. And that was how Naruto came to add another precious person to his list. Mitarashi Anko turned out to be quite the protective sister. Her ways of showing affection were unique. Yeah. Let's end it at that. Alright, brat. Break's over. Now, time to check up on your reflexes. What do you say? Anko was fingering a very sharp kunai with that mischievous glint in her eyes and that sadistic smirk on her face. Oh crap, here we go again. And indeed, the next few hours of Naruto's training need not be revealed yet. Few hours later, Naruto was dragging his battered body back to his apartment, where he took a quick shower and changed into a clean set of clothes, before setting off for the Hyuga mansion. Today was the day where he promised little Hanabi that he would take her on a trip to that little forest just outside of Konoha. It was Hitomi who suggested it, and Hinata would go as well, along with a branch member, Kiriki-san, as an escort. Hanabi had been bugging him for a while, and so he had agreed to this plan. After all, he did need to relax for a while after enduring that torture session. How can you even call that training? Crazy. Yo! Kiriki-san! I assume we're all ready to go. Naruto grinned as he looked up at one of the strongest females in the clan, not to mention one of the prettiest. Kiriki smiled lightly and gave a nod before replying, Hanabi-sama is just getting dressed, Hinata-sama is in the living room, saying goodbye. Ah, here they are. Naruto and Ai-chan. OF. Was the only reaction she got as she tackled her brother onto the ground. Naruto grumbled, Geez, Hanabi-chan, you really need to stop this. You could have killed me. He grabbed at his heart in mock hurt. Mean it? Pouted Hanabi as she crossed her arms, trying to look like her father and failing miserably. She was just too cute that way. Naruto couldn't help it and hugged her gently before carrying her in his arms and setting her on his shoulders. Okay, I'm sorry. Here, for the rest of the night, you get to enjoy the Sug Tokubetsu Naruto Keikei, amazing special Naruto view. How's that sound? Hanabi gave a squeal in glee as she made herself comfortable by flopping the upper half of her body onto Naruto's hair, snuggling in its warmth. For some unfathomable reason, Hanabi just can't get enough of Naruto's hair. Is it the shampoo? Must be hay. Is she sniffing few OW? She's pulling her honestly. What is so damn special about my hair? Just then, a soft voice called out, maybe it's because it's so randomly arranged and spiky hee. Kanbanya, good evening, Naruto and Ai-san. Naruto gave her his usual foxy grin and gave her a quick hug, before greeting Hitomi at the doors. Kazan, don't worry, I'll protect those two if it's the last thing I do. Hee hee. Well, we're off. Just then, another male branch member appeared at the doors, along with Hayashi. Just a minute, Hitomi-sama. I feel that having two guards is a safer bet. Please, allow me to accompany them. I've already gotten Hayashi-sama's consent. Hitomi narrowed her eyes slightly, before looking at her husband. She saw his gaze and reluctantly gave a nod. This guy's name was Akisu, one of the guys that Naruto hated instantly. And Naruto frowned at the new addition to the team. He gazed at Hitomi, only to see her smile slightly, tilting her head as usual, giving him reassurance, and that was all he needed. Kiriki didn't know Akisu too well, but disliked him due to his pompous attitude and his bad temper. He had been acting a bit weird lately, and has always eyed the two heirs to the clan with contempt. Why then, was he volunteering? However, upon seeing Hayashi-sama's glance, she gave a nod, before they set off, with her leading the front, and Akisu flanking the rear. Naruto was right behind her, entertaining Hanabi and Hinata as they went. Now, the forest they were going to was special. How? Well, it was the place where the waterfall was the most famous place to sightsee in the Fire Country. It was beautiful, with pebbles glittering under the soft moonlight, and the soft whispers of the water were able to calm your tense nerves in a matter of moments. The moonlight silhouette added a mysterious feel to the whole place, not to mention that it was a great place to stargaze. It was chosen by Naruto, after some research and pestering with the Hokage, and Hitomi couldn't have been more satisfied. And as expected, Hinata and Hanabi totally adored their destination. It was gorgeous. Naruto had to admit, it looked even better than some of the pictures taken. Kiriki gave a sigh as she made herself comfortable under a tree, and whilst keeping an eye on the children, she too relaxed under the quiet moon. Hinata and Hanabi played lightly with the water, gently spraying each other a little here and there, with Naruto laughing and playing with them. It was tranquil, yet Naruto couldn't help but frown. Something was off. Oi Kyuso Kitsune, you sense anything? That Akisa guy, he just ticks me off. Humph, that tone will not get you anywhere, and I care because? Grr, fine. I'm going to sleep. Okay, I'm kidding. Now honestly, what is up with that guy? Just be on your guard. Treat this as a sort of mission, and respect it. Nothing should go wrong. Okay then. Thanks. Did I hear right? This ungrateful brat just said, I take it back. Shame. And with that, he cut off the link and resumed in his fun and laughter. Akisa merely stood there, stone-faced, totally serious. He activated his Byakugan secretly and smirked when he saw them coming. Oh yeah, it's time. Ha, time to die, demon scum. Oh, not to mention those disgusting main house brats. Hope they enjoy their afterlife without their precious eyes. He walked casually towards Kiriki and pretended as though there was something behind her. Hey! Look out! Kiriki's eyes shot open and she spun around, only to feel an immense pain in her back as she felt the kunai plunge into her body, eliciting a scream from her. Naruto's head shot up at that, and saw Kiriki being punched right into the cliff beside the waterfall, temporarily disabling her. His sadistic smirk was all Naruto needed to tell that something very, very bad was about to happen. Indeed, without warning, a fist lodged itself firmly in his cheek, blasting him into the trees, making him cough up blood. Hanabi screamed as the guy that assaulted them grabbed her roughly and struck several pressure points, temporarily paralyzing her. The man turned out to be a Kumo missing Nin, seeing how there was a slash on his headband. Hanabi! Hinata was just about to rush over when Akisa slapped her right in the face, before giving her a punch straight in the stomach, rendering her helpless as she kicked him away. Hey! Muraki! All done! Ha! That will teach them to disrespect me. Now, as planned, should we kill her? Mumbled Akisa to the missing Nin as he jerked his thumb towards Kiriki only to find that she wasn't there. Scum! Yelled Kiriki as she slammed a juken strike right in his side, before following up with a kick, only to find that it was blocked by the missing Nin. Muraki sneered as he slammed his fist down on her leg. Breaking the bones and using his immense strength, he flung her away. Kiriki was doing all she could to not faint from the pain she was put through. This was unreal. A normal play trip transformed into an A-rank protection mission. What's worse, she's on the losing end. Akisa activated his Byakugan and rushed in to challenge her. Kiriki, needless to say, was subdued after a few strikes, seeing how she was severely injured. Akisa took out a kunai and smashed it into her shoulder, pinning her to the tree. Her screams were ignored as Akisa didn't so much as look at her, before walking over to Naruto. Humph, demon brat, I finally get to kill you. Think of all the honor I will get. Naruto suddenly went poof into a cloud of smoke, and that was when Akisa knew he was in trouble. Take that! Yelled Naruto as he drove his fist right in his gut, administering Tora no Kami. He continued the combo with an uppercut, sending him into the air, before gathering chakra into his feet. He too leapt into the air with 2 roundhouse kicks. He bashed Akisa right in the head, and was about to finish him off when all of a sudden, right on, Rakurai, thunder element, lightning bolt, and before Naruto could even react, a huge bolt of electricity coursed through his body, sending spasms through his nervous system, totally messing up his coordination. Not to mention it hurt like crazy. Naruto Nissen! Screamed Hinata as Akisa held the kunai to her throat. Demon! Either you let me kill you, or I kill her. Your choice. Muraki! Take that girl and run. I'm sure that someone would have noticed the explosion you caused by now. Go! Muraki merely glared, but did as he was told. However, before he could take even one step, he frowned, as a dozen or so clones were surrounding him, determined on not letting him go. Hanabi felt helpless. She hated seeing her beloved brother in pain. What's worse, she was indirectly the cause of it. If only she had trained harder, if only she hadn't pestered him, if only they didn't come on this stupid trip. The tears in her eyes caused a wave of sadness to Naruto's heart. He growled as he yelled, "Hanabi! Hinata! Trust me! I will save you! Or I'll die trying!" Akisa inched the kunai slightly towards her throat, causing a tiny bit of blood to escape, his menacing smirk plastered on his face all the while. Hinata merely closed her eyes and mouthed, "Run, fox, done. Go wild kit." However, what surprised the two enemies the most was when Naruto formed a bird and a ram seal, and the purple light that glowed on the ground he was standing on. Juryoku Sumitsuki, Jichitera, Ki. Gravity Black Seal, 11th level, release, and as the jutsu was formed, his chakra flared intensely for a moment, before slowly dying down, and soon, the same feeling of lightness came upon Naruto, and muttering the words, "Shuinpa." Flash step, he dashed off at speeds deemed unattainable for an 8-year-old kid. In just one move, he got right up in front of Akisu and smashed his fist right into his face, blasting him through the trees. The Kage Bunshins, on the other hand, have successfully rescued Hanabi, and are now doing their best to contain the missing Nin. Kiriki stared in awe as Naruto handled the situation. It was unbelievable. Naruto gave Hinata a quick hug, before charging up his fire ball, Katon, Shikaku, fire element, crimson flame ball. This time, however, he charged it to twice its normal size and with extreme accuracy, lodged directly onto Akisu, causing him to scream in agony as the flame engulfed him. The fact that Kyuubi's fiery chakra made up 90% of it assured his defeat. It was then that Naruto bit his thumb and smudged some blood onto his palm. Ninpo, Kuchios. Emerged from the shadows, Shinku. Ninja arts, summoning jutsu, and answering his call, a medium-sized crimson kitsune appeared with his two tails in all his glory. "You called, Naruto-sama? Shinku, I need you to immobilize him just for a few seconds, if possible. Keep him away from Hinata-chan and Hanabi-chan," said Fox nodded before dashing into the fray, aiding the Kage Bunshins. Naruto, however, took the chance to rush over to Kiriki and placed his hand on her leg, concentrating. "Kiriki-san, it might sting, but please, just bear with it." And slowly, to Kiriki's amazement, blood-red chakra began to seep into her wound, healing it at an amazing rate. She felt the energy coursing through her, she felt revitalized. In just a minute, her major wound was no longer bleeding. "Kiriki-san, I've tried the best I can, it's going to be fine for now. I need your help. My chakra supplies are depleting rapidly, and I have just enough for that one attack. Please, get Hinata-chan and Hanabi-chan when you have the chance, and quickly run back to Konoha first. I'll try and stall for time. You and I are in no real condition to be battling, so please trust me." Kiriki hated to admit it, but that seemed like the only solution. Her leg was cured, and she was ready to go. "Naruto-kun, thank you." Naruto gave her that confident grin, before charging right at Muraki, getting his attention away from the two helpless girls, and using his Kage Bunshins, he got them to Kiriki. "Hurry, Kiriki-san." And as expected, the clone went poof, disappearing due to the lack of chakra. Kiriki focused immediately, and sent one last gaze at the brave boy, before forming a ram seal, Shunshin no Jutsu. And in a cloud of smoke, she disappeared. Naruto sighed in relief as he witnessed their departure. Muraki too saw it, and was furious. "You brat! You just ruined my meat ticket back to Kumogakure. You're going down, right-un, Kanen." Electric shock. In an instant, electricity was emitted in all directions, promptly destroying all the clones. Naruto gasped as the Kumo Nin engaged him in close combat. He too kept his cool and held his opponent off pretty well using the Tentu style. However, due to his rapidly diminishing chakra, he knew that he wasn't going to last too long. Just then, Shinki snapped at the Kumo Nin with his sharp jaws, buying Naruto some time. Back in Konohagakure, "Hokage-sama!" yelled Kiriki with the last of her strength, as she shunshined into the Hokage's office. She wasn't surprised to see Hayashi there, as she knew they had a meeting. Sarutobi and Hayashi stood up abruptly at the sight of the two unconscious girls, with blood all over their clothes. "What happened? Where is Naruto?" asked Hayashi urgently, refusing to believe what he feared had come true. "He's holding them off. He told me to bring Hinata-sama and Hanabi-sama back first. Please hurry, it's Kumo's Muraki." "What? Izumi! Get me Anko right now!" roared Sarutobi as he let the words sink in. Muraki Igaraim, B-rank missing Nin, averaging between high Chun Nin and low Jounin in terms of taijutsu and ninjutsu respectively. This wasn't looking good at all. "Hokage-sama! What's the matter?" "Anko, I need you to follow Kiriki-san here. Naruto's in danger. He's fighting Muraki. Anko's eyes widened before she gritted her teeth. Hi. Kiriki signaled for her to follow, and with that, they dashed out into the night. During all the ruckus, the girls have woken up and stared at their surroundings, only to find themselves pulled into a huge hug by their father. Oh, thank God you're both all right. Come, we're going to the hospital. But Chichiyoya, father, where is Enai-san? Is he all right? Hinata asked timidly, whereas Hanabi began to cry. Hayashi sighed as he stared at the Hokage. Before turning back to his daughters, he will be, I'm certain of it, back with Naruto. Right, Shigeki. Thunder element shock, arg. Screamed Naruto as once again, he was hit by that jutsu. Things have definitely gone downhill since Kiriki left. Naruto found out that the guy he was fighting had an old injury that was apparently slowing him down, and tried to exploit that weakness. However, his opponent wasn't a B-rank missing Nin for nothing and had much more experience than him. All the attacks were nullified, and now, it was all Naruto could do to dodge. If the reinforcements don't arrive in 2 minutes, then I'm toast. Naruto yelped as once again, he narrowly dodged the attack. Shinku was trying his best to help, blasting fireballs every now and then to help deflect the attack, but the pure strength of the Kumo missing Nin was overwhelming, even for Shinku, and he too found that his chakra was depleting. The fox had sustained a fair amount of hits as well, and he looked ready to fall any time now. Naruto knew it was now or never. He had to risk it. Shinku, grab him and make sure he stays in that place. I'm going to finish it now. And the fox leapt at the Kumo Nin again. This time, however, he played smart and tripped the guy whilst biting him, using one of his tails. He wrapped it around his neck whilst his jaws lodged themselves firmly on his arm. Naruto formed the seals, praying to God that he could get the control and power right. He was going to use that jutsu, his second ever original one. The one he had practiced all day before this dreadful event. Torai Ryu o Hitsuji, Tora, Uma, Yasagi Inu Awayu. Alright, come on. Naruto concentrated all his remaining chakra and onto his palm. The pure intensity of it made it possible for the chakra to be seen. He then manipulated the chakra, forcing it to accumulate into a huge fire ball enveloping his right fist. It was a magnificent sight. His fist was on fire, literally, with the scorching hot blue flame dancing around his fist. It was crackling every now and then, and finally, he was ready. Harg! Shuinpa! And in flash, he dashed off towards his enemy, the flames growing wilder by the second, gaining power as the wind spurred them on, his eyes roaring with determination as he appeared right in front of the Kumo missing Nin, fist drawn back. It's over. Cane Furia! Blaze Flare! And with his final strength, he drove his fist of flame right into Muraki's chest, melting the skin surrounding it, ignoring the armor plates he wore, burning right through his body. But it wasn't over. This technique was special in the sense that it consisted of 2 parts. The first was to stun the opponent, where the second one was the real deal. Normally, Naruto would never use the second half of the jutsu, but now, he couldn't care less. He ignored the screams of agony coming from Muraki and firmly grasped his right arm using his left hand and focused the flames into the shape of a blade. And aiming it right at Muraki's heart, he yelled, Hiketsu! Reject, and boom! The flame projectile smashed through the enemy's heart, blasting him away as a huge explosion took place. Naruto's arm was jerked back due to the sheer power of the explosion, and he too was sent tumbling to the ground. He had done it. There was no way Muraki could have survived it. He gasped as his eyes struggled to stay open. He could faintly hear cries of Naruto in the distance, but he couldn't help it. Haha, I did it. I protected them. The last thing he saw was that familiar blob of purple hair as he drifted off into the darkness, embraced by the tranquility of it, and finally getting some well-deserved rest. However, that gentle smile never left his face, and little did Naruto know that he had just taken a huge step towards the future. Chapter 5 Savior. Wait up. Sakura-chan? What's wrong? What is it? Grinned the boy. The pink-haired girl blushed, before shoving a plushie into his arms. Thanks for helping me. The boy's eyes widened for a moment, before shaking his head. I did what I should, there's no need to give this to me. Besides, don't you like him? The boy pointed at the fox plushie, all the while smiling gently. The girl shook her head. I want you to have it. The boy sighed. Alright, but here, how about we do it this way? The girl tilted her head to the side. Huh? The boy grinned before saying, I'll keep it as a token of our friendship. But if you ever feel that I'm not a good friend, I'll give it back to you straight away. Oof. Don't say that. Don't say that. Naruto is my best friend. You're not allowed to say that. The pink-haired girl cried into his chest, before staring up with intense determination, If that's the case, then I never want it back. I want you to always be my friend, forever and ever and ever. The boy just stood there, dumbfounded, before slowly, a smile took over his face, a pure naive smile as he held out his pinky, shake on it. The girl immediately did so, and as she left, the boy yelled, Sakura-chan. Don't forget it. It's a promise of a lifetime. I won't. Wake up, Naruto. Wake up. Wake up. What the who's calling me? God, why isn't he waking up? Is that? Enko, calm down, the doctors are trying their best. All you're doing is delaying his healing process. Na-chan. And I-chan. I'm sorry. Are you angry at me? I'm sorry. I promise I'll never pester you again. Please wake up, Hanabi, Naruto and I-san. Oh no, Hahaya, mother, please help him. Hintada, Naruto-kun, Hitomi-kazan. Well, Kit, looks like you did find some people to care about you after all. But do I need to bloody kill you for using such a freaking risky jutsu, or do I just let it go? That is the stupidest dilemma I've ever heard of. You sure you're not going senile, you dumb fox? Are you trying to piss me off? No need to try, you know. Shut the hell up. But if I do that, how will you get back in there? Growling, you're pushing it. Alright, calm down. Right, I'll talk later, but now I really gotta go back. TCH, whatever, Kit. Just stay alive. Will do. Look, his eyes. Naruto. Indeed, ignoring the bright lights and the whiteness of the surroundings, he opened his eyes and started to get up. He placed his palm on his forehead, trying to sort out his memories. I remember beating that Kumo guy, and then Enko came and saved me, I reckon. At that moment, he was enveloped in a strong hug by Hitomi. Thank goodness, you have no idea how worried we were. I swear, if you take those kinds of risks again, oh Naruto, her eyes were filled with tears, yet there were no sadness in them. Only joy, pure elation that her son had pulled through. Naruto chuckled and gave a small smile. Gomen, sorry, I'll be more careful next time. He scratched his head before saying, Where's Hinata-chan and Hanabi-chan? Are they okay? Just then, the door flew open and before he knew it, two soft figures were already hugging the life out of him, and I-san. You're back. Were you angry at Hanabi? Was that why you wouldn't come back? If that's so, I'm sorry. I really am. Naruto immediately looked down, and sure enough, there she was, with her lips quivering, her eyes all teary and her expression just downright cute. He gently lifted her into his arms and hugged her back. No, Hanabi-chan, I'll never be angry at you. I was away because I had some stuff to do, but hey, I got back as quick as I can, didn't I? He grinned. Hanabi, upon seeing that famous foxy grin, couldn't help it but giggle before snuggling in Naruto's chest, happy and content that her brother was back. Hinata, on the other hand, couldn't help but sigh at Naruto's smart way of handling it. She had been trying to calm Hanabi down for the past 15 minutes, to no avail, yet here comes Naruto, in just 2 seconds, made Hanabi all happy and smiley, and for some reason, Hinata thinks it's not only because of Naruto being the cause of Hanabi's tantrum, it's just, his posture just reassures you in a way. Hinata-chan, Gomen, I wasn't strong enough to protect. Don't say that. It was my fault. If only I had been stronger. Both of you stop this nonsense. But Kazan, no buts. Naruto-kun, you are not even a genin yet. No one expects you to be able to take down a B-rank missing nin, so don't go around thinking that you are supposed to be able to take enemies of this sort all day long. Are we clear? Hitomi gazed straight into his eyes, wanting to make sure that the message was sent across. Naruto sighed, before replying, yeah. Crystal. Hitomi shook her head and gave a sigh of exasperation before gathering all three of her children into a big hug. Bakas, you're all my little bakas. Even Hayashi couldn't help but chuckle at this statement. Indeed, Naruto was howling with laughter at the statement. Little Hanabi was jumping on the bed with glee, whereas Hinata was laughing softly in her mother's hug. It was finally over. Eni Sandaime-ji-san, where's Enko Eni-chan? Ah, she is currently worrying about her little brother, and is currently interrogating the Hyuga stupid enough to fight her brother. She was waiting along with us for you to wake up, however, seeing how she really needed some stress relief. I reckon that maybe a distraction is appropriate. Sarutobi chuckled as he remembered how much sadism Enko had shown at the mention of the words Akisu and interrogation. Oh boy, you do not want to be near her this very moment. Honestly, Enko is the only woman in the village to make full use of the words looks can kill. Akisu is probably wetting his pants this very moment just by staring at Enko. Now, Naruto-kun, I'm sad to say that I must take my leave as there are other matters that I have to discuss with Hayashi-san. I wish you a quick recovery and all the best in your training. Ah, that's right, before I forget, please come to my office when you're discharged. That'll be all. And with that, he ruffled Naruto's blonde spiky locks gently before leaving with Hayashi. Naruto thought for a moment, before turning to Hitomi. "Na, cousin, could you do me a favor?" Hitomi huffed at the question. "Of course. Why would I refuse you?" Naruto chuckled at her, knowing that she was trying to cheer him up. "Could you go to my apartment and fish out a box under my bed? There's a fox plushie and a yellow-orange scarf in it. Could you get it for me?" Hitomi's eyes softened and gave a nod. "Okay, just wait a while, okay? I'll be right back. Hinata and Hanabi will look after you, won't they?" "Hi!" Two unanimous voices rang clear in his ears and he couldn't help but smile. And so, Hitomi left as well, knowing what those two items meant. Naruto sighed, and gave a yawn, fatigue getting the best of him. Hinata noticed it, and quickly tucked him in, wanting him to be as comfortable as possible. And so, with a quiet thanks, Naruto drifted off to sleep once again. "Oh heyo. How are you today?" "Fine, I guess. It's getting cold though. You sure you're wearing enough, Ino-chan?" "Yup. Mom made me very warm before coming out." "Say, Naruto-kun, supposedly, someone gave you a scarf, what would you say to her?" The boy thought for a while, before answering. "Well, I would thank her very much, but then, I doubt any girl would care that much about me." The girl seemed to pout. "Oh. That's what you think of me as well?" No. I never meant you, Ino-chan. You're the most polite and kind girl I know." "Definitely. Come on, forgive me?" "Hee, oh Naruto-kun, you're too fun to tease." And with that, she whipped out a wrapped box from behind her back. "Tada! Come on, open it." The boy's eyes widened for a moment, before staring at the girl. "For me?" "Yep," smiled the girl. The boy lowered his head for a moment, his lips quivering, before his head shot back up, with that same big grin on his face. "Thanks, Ino-chan. Wow, a scarf. Orange too, my favorite. Now, Naruto-kun, you won't be cold anymore." "Well, even if you still are, just think of the times when we were together, that way, you would feel better." "That's what my mum said. Ino-chan, arigato. I will. Whenever I put this on, I'll think of you. I won't forget it." "It's a promise." And amidst the fun and laughter they had that day, the scarf was now the first ever precious possession the boy had. HMR'd what the it's just a dream sigh. Why can't I get those memories out of my head? Naruto muttered bitterly to himself. He hated it. All these good memories just made the bad ones stand out even more. Looks like I fell asleep for 2 hours. Hanabi-chan and Hinata-chan went home already with cousin. Oh well, at least Foxy is here. Brrr, it's getting cold. And with a swift move, he wrapped the orange scarf around his neck, and cuddled the plushie to his chest. Yo kit. Feeling better? Yeah, I guess. Oh, thanks for helping me out again. Appreciate it. You better. But then if you die, I die. Not much of a choice. Haha, true. But it's not every day you get a 9-tailed kitsune to save you now, is it? Keep dreaming and it might come true. You just saved me, didn't you? That doesn't count. Man, Kyubi, one would think demon lords were smart. What happened to? You don't want to finish that sentence. Hey, chill. Just stating a fact. Why you wait, what was that? What was what? Shut up, you numbskull. I'm trying to concentrate. Yep. That scent, it must be them. You better hurry, kid. What? What's wrong? Not another. I'm just saying that your precious friends are currently undergoing some intense trouble there. What? Yeah, so should we go? Your choice. Stupid fox, isn't it obvious? Well, fine by me. I've strengthened your muscles temporarily as best as I could. Hope it lasts. Now go. I'll tell you the directions. And with that, the link was cut, and in a flash, Naruto was out of the door, rushing down the corridors. Gasps were heard everywhere, and he could still hear the doctors yelling at him to come back. Something about how he hasn't recovered yet. But now, he couldn't care less. He rushed out of the main lobby and out into the streets, and as he ran closer to the destination, sure enough, voices could be heard. Their voices, oh how he missed them. At the playground. Haha. You skunk. Dirt, like you should know their places. Now bend and lick my shoes like you're supposed to, yelled a big boy, literally, seeing how he was twice the height of that poor girl with that pale blonde ponytail. Shut up. Arg. She was once again pushed to the grounds. I won't let you beat me. Hang in there, Sakura. Ha! What do you think you can do to us? Demon lovers like you should just die like the filth you are. Mama told me that demons should die, so if you love demons, you should die as well, muttered the big Genin sadistically. He whipped out a kunai, and swiped it gently across the girl's arm, drawing a thin line of blood, causing a yelp to come from the girl. Ino! Cried the pink-haired girl as she was trying her best to push off the boys who were trying to beat her up. Sadly, she was failing miserably. Haha. Your parents won't be here to save you now. There's a council meeting right now, so no one will blame us. My dad's a council member, and if I said that you demon lovers attacked me first like the crazy sluts you are, he will praise me. Now, should I slice you up one by one or piece by piece? That maniacal gleam in his eyes terrified the girls to no end. True, their parents had left them there to play with each other because there was a council meeting and their parents were part of the shinobi council half, whereas the other half were made up of civilians. They were just happily making a sandcastle, when suddenly this boy just charged in with his gang of bullies and proceeded to attack them. He was the notorious new Genin, Kagamaru, the bully of the neighborhood. However, because his father was a civilian council member, the other people didn't dare to punish him for fear of his father's power over them. And as expected, Kagamaru turned out to be the biggest ass there ever was, loving to pick on the weak, especially girls. He had tried to get those two girls to play with him, but they merely scoffed at his disgusting attempts at perversion, and so he was angry and ordered his gang to attack them. Sakura! She yelled desperately as she tried to get away from the crazy Genin. She hated to admit it, but she knew that he would do it. One thing was certain, Kagamaru always gets what he wants. That was the law in the children's neighborhood. Anyone that dares defy him would get a beating, or threatening. Only one person dared to stand up to him, however, that current person isn't here, and Ino was trying to think of a solution to handle this. Haha, why don't you use your special jutsus? You think I don't know about them? You Yamanakas and Harunos are no good clans. My father said so. You demon lovers! Die! And with all his might, he flung his only two kunais at the girls, seeing how they were cornered. He felt no remorse. They were just two bugs, ready to be squashed. Humph, teach them to mess with the great Kagamaru-sama. Ino grabbed Sakura's hand tightly as she saw the kunais appear. They were cornered. They couldn't escape. If she hadn't been caught off guard the first time, she wouldn't have wasted so much chakra trying to get to Sakura. But even then it proved pointless, for the boys were just bigger than them and much stronger. She gave a sigh and looked at Sakura, only to find the girl looking back at her. She gave a nod and both girls grasped each other's hand tightly, waiting for the inevitable, yet all the while thinking of how they couldn't even get to see their other best friend just once more. Splash! The kunais were right on target. They plunged right into the chest and blood splattered into the air. Now, that would seem normal to Kagamaru, however, not in this case. No. See, there was something wrong in this picture. 1. It was a boy who took the kunai's hit. 2. He wasn't falling onto the ground, much less dead. 3. He had blonde hair and blue eyes and was wearing hospital clothes. 4. The boy was snarling at him. 5. He is Uzumaki Naruto. To say Kagamaru was scared was an understatement. With Naruto mustering all the killer intent he could gather, and directing them right at the bullies, scared couldn't even begin to describe the situation. He had pissed his pants straight away when the demon boy had glared at him with such contempt. One could literally feel the power and chakra oozing off him, and the fact that the chakra was red. How dare you touch them? How dare you even try and attack them? I'm going to rip you to pieces, snarled the cubified Naruto as he rushed at the dumbass who started this whole ordeal and gave him one strong punch right in the face, effectively breaking his nose and causing at least 5 of his teeth to be dislodged from his jaw. Not to mention the fact that Kagamaru crashed right through a tree due to the sheer force of the impact. The other bullies just stood there. Fear had them rooted to their spots. They couldn't do anything. It was just too overwhelming. Victory had tasted so sweet, if you could even call that a victory, and all of a sudden, their worst nightmare arrived. If you vermin even dare so much as touch them once again, I swear I'll make you regret it, growled Naruto as he pointed to Kagamaru. Now get that guy out of here and out of my sight, or else. Did they need to be told a second time? No, they don't. So what did they do? They did the smart thing and rushed Kagamaru to the hospital, all of them trembling all the way and tripping over the roads and stuff. The chakra slowly died down, and accompanying Naruto's rapid panting, 2 simultaneous gasps were heard. Naruto slowly pulled out the kunais in his chest and for once, thanked the gods for having Kyuubi within him. He didn't dare turn around. He didn't want to see the looks on their faces. It was too painful. He took a step forward, but couldn't help but fall as the strength left his body. See, here was a perfect example where he totally forgot how he just fought a B-rank missing Nin plus a Hyuga traitor and is suffering from multiple injuries. No, I can't face them. Yet even so, he couldn't help but turn his face slightly as he felt 2 pairs of arms hugging him to them tightly, never wanting to let go. Naruto-kun! Naruto-kun! He could see so clearly, the tears in their eyes, the sorrow and joy deep within them. He owed them so much. I'm so sorry was all Naruto would say as he once again felt that familiar fatigue catch up to his body. Sure, you're going to be alright. Yeah, come on, you promised us you'd be fine. At those words, his heart was torn even further, as he remembered how he had did the exact opposite of what he promised. He couldn't help himself. As much as he told himself that he was not to involve himself with his two best friends, as much as he reminded himself that as long as he was with them, they would get hurt, he couldn't help it. His tears were running freely as well as he pulled the two of them into a hug. I miss you guys so much. He cried as he felt them with him once again. The two girls responded similarly and hung on to him even harder, for to them, it was as if this was all a dream. Never would they have thought that Naruto would speak with them again, much less save them. I'm so sorry for not being there. I'm sorry. Naruto couldn't stand it any longer. Never had he felt so negative in life before, but now, as he looked over his best friend's injuries, he hated himself for what he did before. He knew that no amount of apologies could possibly heal the wounds in the girl's heart. Ino bit her lips before she ran her fingers through his soft blonde locks, and bending her head, she whispered ever so gently into his left ear, "Don't worry, it wasn't your fault. As long as you're here with us like you promised, I don't care anymore." Sakura grabbed his hand and caught his gaze. "The past doesn't matter. You kept your promise all along. I knew you would come for us. I never doubted you, Naruto-kun." Their gaze, so soft, so assuring, so comforting, it was like the old times. Naruto would protect them whilst they did all the patching up for him later on. And so, with one last grin, he finally lost consciousness, giving in to the fatigue that's been plaguing him for way too long. Yet the girls heard it clearly, and their hearts soared as he whispered the words, "I'm here to stay, never to leave again." Chapter 6, Guardian? I swear, Naruto-chan, if there's one person that can get himself sent to the hospital twice within such a short period of time. Okay, I get the picture. Can we go now? Mumbled the pouting Naruto as Anko came to fetch him. Apparently, Sakura and Ino's mums came, and after seeing him in such a condition, sent him to the hospital immediately. And so, he had to stay for another 3 days. Hitomi was absolutely furious. She too, like Anko, could not believe what a knucklehead Naruto was. Can't you just stop your hero act for 1 minute and just rest? How many times must I tell you that? Blah blah blah, and so on. Naruto was pretty much fighting to stay awake due to her extremely boring and obvious speech, and he had been stupid enough to comment on it, which had led to another lecturing of why he did not do as she said. Yeah, mothers are scary. Ino and Sakura came to visit him, and were overjoyed to see him all healthy. Ino's mother, Yukiko, came with them and thanked him for saving her daughter. It was quite a new experience for Naruto, receiving thanks from someone else. Well, from someone he didn't know, more like. She had been very polite and apologized for Sakura's mother's absence, Nayuki, and explained that Nayuki had a meeting she needed to attend. Naruto had given his famous foxy grin and accepted the thanks humbly, before motioning to Ino and Sakura. He sighed and apologized once again for his stupid actions before, yet he stopped when he found that both girls were hugging him tightly, shaking gently as they sobbed, calling him a baka for being a loner. Yeah, Naruto felt really weird at that part, but then Yukiko had comforted all three of them, and after some chatting, they left, leaving the flowers back in his hospital room. Ever since that day, Anko had teased him non-stop about how he had acquired 2 girlfriends. He had no idea what that meant and had even laughed at Anko for stating such an obvious fact. Of course they're my girlfriends. What are you on about? They are my friends and they are girls? Man, Anko, I know I'm ignorant, but come on, that is too easy. And Anko had merely stared at him, gaping at his stupidity, or ignorance depending on which way you look at it. At first she thought he was joking, but then she realized that he really thought that the term girlfriend was meant that way, and even though in a way it was true literally, she had then given him a very thorough explanation on the relationships between a boy and a girl, and how a girl can then come to be known as the boy's girlfriend. Needless to say, poor Naruto had to answer certain questions posted by one blonde and one pink-haired girl who were very intent on asking why he was blushing every time they looked at him. Sigh, that was downright embarrassing, and to think I was stuttering all along. And so, here he was, finally ready to be discharged. Anko was told to bring him directly to the Hokage, and she did, but not before teasing him first. He gritted his teeth, trying to stop himself from snarling at his annoying Nei-san in front of the Hokage. But then, seeing the amused look on the Hokage wasn't much better either. Geez. Well, Naruto-kun, I do believe you are very intent on becoming Hokage in the future, but still, I'm sure there was no need to. Sarutobi began, smirking as he said that. Okay, I get the picture, mumbled Naruto grumpily. It wasn't nice being teased, Uzumaki Naruto. Sarutobi's whole attitude changed. Naruto immediately stood at attention, knowing that this was where the Hokage transforms into his business mode. Hi. Due to your assist in capturing a C-rank Hyuga traitor and defeating a B-rank Kumo missing Nin on your own, I hereby provide you with this scroll, and the bounty on the both of them. Here, it's yours to keep. Naruto raised an eyebrow. Okay. I'm not going crazy, right? He's just gonna give me a scroll and some pocket money? Geez, thanks not. Apparently, Sarutobi saw his look and chuckled. Naruto-kun, I suggest you look at the amount before saying anything, and the use of the scroll, I'll tell you in a minute. Naruto was still pouting as he approached the table, but when he got the check, his eyeballs nearly flew out of their sockets. Gojijio man Ryo, 55,000 ryo, a currency used in ancient Japan. His jaw crashed onto the floor, as he stared at that piece of paper in his hand, not believing his eyes. If not for Sarutobi's experience in hiding one's emotions, he would have burst out laughing, maybe even roll on the floor for a while. But, he was the Hokage, and he was basically an old man, and old Hokages do not act like 3-year-olds, so he merely settled for a slight chuckle as he witnessed Naruto's childish acts. Suga. Amazing! I have never seen so much money in my life. He was rambling now. Holy crap, I knew I was going to get some reward, but this, am I fainting? What he didn't know was, a certain nine-tailed fox was currently roaring with laughter inside his body. He suddenly stopped and thought for a moment, before looking at the Hokage. Na Aji-san, Kiriki-san wa daijoubu? Is Kiriki okay? His face suddenly filled with concern. Sarutobi gave a gentle smile. Don't worry, she's fine. She is currently resting back at the Hyuga Manor. Why the sudden question? Naruto then sighed, before looking at Sarutobi. Nah, this money is mine now, right? Meaning I can do whatever I want now. Sarutobi gave a nod, wondering why on earth he was asking this question. Naruto quickly pocketed the check, making sure it's safe, before turning back to the Hokage. Well, what does this scroll do? Ah, right. Now, Naruto-kun, this is a special scroll. You see, only those who have done the village great honors can possess this scroll. It allows the holder one personal request from the Hokage, and the Hokage would have to do his/her best to help. Of course, it can't be something ridiculous or beyond the power of a Hokage. To put it simply, think of it as a way of proving that I owe you a big favor. Naruto blinked. He rubbed his ears, then blinked again. You owe me a favor? Sarutobi chuckled at his naive acts. Ah, the boy still has much to learn. He ruffled Naruto's hair gently. Come now, surely you didn't expect me to take it for granted that a 9-year-old should be able to take on a B and C rank missing Nin? Treat this scroll with respect if you think it is valuable. Come now, are there any other questions? Naruto jolted out of his shock, and was just about to ask a question when the door was flung open, and in came the fattest woman, if you can call her a woman, Naruto has ever seen. And she had makeup on her face, too much of it. Ugh, it took all Naruto had to not puke right there. The perfume she had on equates to the smell of a skunk. That say anything about her fashion sense? Hokage-sama, I demand that you punish that atrocious brat for touching my baby boy. This is outrageous. Look at him, look at his face. His future is ruined, she yelled whilst tears ran down her face more like giant waterfalls. Naruto peered behind her back, only to find a mummified Kagemaru. Apparently, her mother deemed it necessary to bandage ya. Raising an eyebrow, he looked at the Hokage, only to find him sighing in exasperation. Mrs. Chishio, I'm sure I told you yesterday, the day before and the day before that. Now I refuse to repeat it after this. Your son is the one at fault. He dares to bully in this village, he shall face the consequences. Now get out of this office before I have you under arrest. The fat woman continued to wail whilst dragging her son out of the room, and just as she passed Naruto, she muttered, You filthy demon. You just wait. Naruto snorted and concentrated, remembering the times he fought in life and death situations that he got it. And at once, the malicious killing intent was emitted from Naruto, directly at the fat woman, rooting her to the spot. Naruto smirked as he watched the woman began to tremble, and started shrieking like a banshee before running out of the office. Did I mention she was dragging her son all over the place? As in literally dragging. Naruto grinned widely and held back his ki. Sarutobi finally gave in and laughed to his heart's content. Naruto joined in immediately, glad that he could provide some stress relief for the old man. Well, Aji-san, let's get back on track. I have something to ask, it is regarding my taijutsu. Sarutobi gave an inward grin. Oh? Naruto scratched his head then frowned. Well, it's just that. Taichi Jusen Shiki, Taichi 13 styles, doesn't really seem like an actual style. I don't know how to say it, but it's as though that it's just a plan to get me into the feel of things, like the essence of Tai Chi and other styles. I don't know what's going on. I mastered the Ten to Heaven, and chakra capacity and control increased greatly. However, the actual styles it doesn't really help against enemies. Sarutobi gave a sigh of relief. Ah, good job, Naruto-kun. Looks like you figured it out faster than I expected. Naruto blinked, huh? Indeed, Taichi Jusen Shiki can be viewed as the predecessor of Taijutsu styles. Which styles have you mastered? Naruto cupped his chin. Ertora, tiger, Washi eagle, Suru, crane, Ryu, dragon, Kajira, whale, Hebe, snake. I'm currently working on Shurshur, lion, and Saru, monkey, and I would have finished the scroll. The last 4 are mere combinations and I basically understood the concepts. Sarutobi barely concealed his shock from his face. Who would have known that a 9-year-old kid could master the basics in such a short period of time? He then said, well, then Naruto-kun, I can only say this much. When the time comes to fully reveal those styles, you'll know. For now, concentrate on them over and over, make sure you get them. Good day. And with that, he ushered Naruto out of his office and left a very confused Naruto in the corridor. He then sighed and turned to the secretary, Izumi-san, please tell Hokage-san that I said thanks. Bye. And with a slight bow, he left, with a smiling Izumi promising to convey the message. Once Naruto got onto the streets, he went straight to the Hyuga Manor. Ano, I'm here to visit Kiriki Nizan, can I go in? The guard seemed to hesitate for a second. Before giving him a nod, I'll take you there. Come along. Naruto noticed the tense expression on his face and couldn't help but wonder what had happened. Just as they reached outside of Kiriki's room, 2 voices could be heard. The guard merely nodded and told him to wait, and went back to his position. Naruto raised an eyebrow, before identifying the voices to be Hitomi and Kiriki's. Kair-chan, feeling better lately? Came Hitomi's gentle voice. Ah, Hitomi-ne-chan, stop calling me that. It's embarrassing. Naruto blinked. Any-chan, are you kidding me? Ah, but I don't see you complaining when he calls you by that. A sigh was heard. Na-chan, how's my injury coming? Injury? Why would she need to ask? Can't she tell by herself? Naruto wondered. And before he could even understand what happened, Hitomi had muttered, Byakugan. And once again, Naruto felt that familiar pricking sensation, as the jutsu activated. It's healing, gradually, but it is healing. I have to thank him next time he sends these herbs again. Who is this him? Now Naruto-kun, I know you're out there, come on in. Naruto gave a small yelp, and entered the room. He grinned awkwardly as he took a seat and immediately said, I wasn't eavesdropping. I just happened to come here to visit Kiriki Eni-san, and the guard told me to wait out here. Kiriki chuckled, don't worry Naruto-kun, we're not blaming you. Naruto scratched his head, not to be rude or anything, but are you really sisters? Hitomi giggled at his expression and nodded, yes we are. I'm older than her by 8 years. Naruto's eyes nearly flew out of his sockets. 8 years? Whoa. Kiriki saw that and laughed. Yeah, it's a big difference, isn't it? But back in those days, it wasn't that big a deal. Anyway, Naruto-kun, what are you here for? Naruto quickly took out his check and placed it in front of Kiriki, and grinned. Well, I wanted to thank you for protecting me that night, so I figured that you should have this. Kiriki tilted her head, and Naruto suddenly had flashes of a certain female in his memories. He frowned, wondering where on earth that came from. Kiriki took the check and smiled warmly before motioning for Naruto to come forward. She pulled him in for a gentle embrace and kissed his forehead. Arigato, Naruto-kun. But I shall not keep this money. No, wait just a moment. I heard from Hokage-sama that you've been studying Tai Chi Jusen Shiki. So how is it going? Naruto repeated what he said to Sarutobi, and at the end of it, to say Kiriki was shocked was an understatement. Even Hitomi looked amazed. Naruto-kun, do you have any idea how long it normally takes to just learn one style? Naruto scratched his head. 2 days? Kiriki rolled her eyes. Try 500 times that. Naruto laughed. Well, I use Kage Bunshin no Jutsu to help me, so no worries. Kage Bunshin? Where did you learn this jutsu? Oh, Sandenji-san gave me a scroll on it, said it was perfect for me. Kiriki seemed to think for a while, before looking at Hitomi. Na-chan, looks like I can finally start my job once again. Hitomi immediately frowned. No. You're still injured. Your chakra system can cut short your lifespan if more accidents like last time occur. I will not allow it. It was incredible. Mistress of the Hyuga clan was pouting. Kiriki chuckled lightly, before kneeling in front of Naruto, and closing her eyes, she whispered, Naruto, do you accept me as a guardian? Naruto nearly bolted out of the door at this sentence. What is with all the serious themes today? He looked towards Hitomi, who was just about to interrupt when Kiriki said again, Hitomi, let him think for himself. I want to see if I'm right. Naruto-kun, will you allow me to protect you? Naruto immediately answered, of course. Why wouldn't I? I would trust you with my life, Kiriki-san. His face was determined, his lips puckered together, pouting at the distrust shown by this question. A smile grew on Kiriki's lips before she hugged Naruto and stared into his eyes, cuddling him. All right. I, Hyuga Kiriki, upon my honor as Konoha's Byako, White Tigress, hereby fulfill my oath 9 years ago. She then motioned for Naruto to lift up his shirt and show his seal. Naruto did as he was told, unsure of what the hell was going on, and all of a sudden, Kiriki bit her finger, and using the blood, she wrote the letter Shiro, white, on the left side of the seal and muttered, Tenyo Fuin, Kai. Celestial Maiden Seal. Release. Instantly, Naruto felt that his chakra flows soothingly throughout all his tenketsus once, from his head to his toes, and it felt really comfortable. All his muscles were relaxing and his chakra capacity felt a little larger. Kiriki then began coughing right after she finished the ritual, and Naruto quickly patted her on the back, trying to make her feel better. Hitomi sighed and muttered, Shosen no Jutsu, mystical palm technique, and placed her glowing hand on Kiriki's back. Naruto, stand back for a while. Go grab a bucket, hurry! Naruto quickly nodded and rushed off to find one. Kiriki continued coughing, though she seemed better by the second. Go gomen ni, Nichan demo. But, Hitomi sighed, I know, this is something you have to do, Sai, you really miss him, don't you, Baka Imuto, stupid younger sister. She concentrated, and just at that moment, Naruto brought in the bucket, and Kiriki coughed out the blood clot within her circulatory system. She then focused chakra onto her forefingers and jabbed several tenketsus around her heart, before finally regaining the usual pulse. Arigato. Now, Naruto-kun, I need you to come with me and see Hokage-sama. Naruto thought Hitomi was going to freak out at her decision, but it turns out that Hitomi agreed with her. She activated her Byakugan once more to check for any other major problems, before nodding, now, don't push yourself. You're not as strong physically as you were before. You know that better than anyone else. Kiriki gave a hesitant nod, before holding Naruto's hand, and just before she disappeared with Shunshin no Jutsu, she heard Hitomi whisper, but your heart is stronger than ever, and that brought a smile to her face. And of course, Naruto still had no idea what was going on. At the Hokage's office, Hokage-sama, Hyuga Kiriki and Naruto are here to see you. Izumi called through the door. Sarutobi sighed, muttering stuff about crap timing and how he was just going to go home and enjoy some Ika paradise. Izumi's eye twitched and replied in a deadly quiet tone, I'll take that as a yes. If there was one thing a Hokage should be afraid of, that would have to be an angry woman. And Sarutobi had a very good idea what had been the cause of such anger. The downfalls to being a pervert, not that I am one, or him, please send them in, Izumi. My apologies. Izumi huffed and went out of the door, leaving a fairly relieved Sandaime in the room. And sure enough, a minute later, in came Kiriki and Naruto. To what do I owe the pleasure, Kiriki-san? Kiriki merely smiled and said, he's ready. I've already removed the Tenyo Fuin. Sarutobi's eyes widened. Already? But surely, I thought you were at least going to give Naruto more time to mature. Kiriki shook his head. I'm sure he would have agreed with me. Naruto, with the help of Kage Bunshin, has been more than ready. You should know that, Hokage-sama. Sarutobi sighed. Yes, I know. But I really didn't think that you should teach him. After all, the poison had caused extreme damage to your chakra system, and he specifically told me to watch over you whilst he was away. You know how he feels. That kid just keeps blaming himself. Kiriki looked out of the window. I know, but I've made up my mind. Hokage-sama. Naruto had enough of this random conversation and asked, what are you talking about? What happened? What is this ten seal thingy? Sarutobi nodded before motioning for the two to take a seat. Years ago, on the night of sealing Kyubi, 4 hidden seals were added to the Shusho Fuin, 4 symbol seal, and the Hack Fuin, 8 trigrams, that is the Shitenrai Fuin, 4 divine seal. What Kiriki had just released is the seal designated to her. She is the West Protector of the Hai no Kuni, Fire Country Byako. So, the hidden seal on the left can only be removed by her. It was set by Minato to make sure you allow yourself to get used to the fox's chakra before utilizing your chakra to its fullest potential. He took in a deep breath and continued, there were 4 people who had outstanding leadership and abilities that allowed them to be known as the Shurfukiai, 4 guardians, and they took up their positions as protectors of Hai no Kuni. Kiriki is one of them, as you already know, and she is known for her outstanding taijutsu on the battlefield. Her ferocity and precision in her attacks makes her a deadly opponent. However, a few years ago, she had an unexpected injury, and so, she has been technically crippled all these years. Kiriki blushed. I'm not that great, Hokage-sama. But it's the truth. Now, the other 3 protectors and Kiriki were there beside the Yandane when they fought against the Kyuubi, and so, Minato had asked, as a brother, for them to accept this infant as one of their own, and train him to become one of the best, and use the Yokai's Chikara, monster's strength, for the greater good, and therefore, the Shitenrai Fuin was added. Now, Naruto-kun, I assume you accepted Kiriki as your guardian? Naruto still looked confused, but nodded all the same. I treat her as my Eni-chan. Not my guardian. Kiriki blushed even harder, but couldn't help but feel happy at the same time. Sarutobi chuckled. Of course, now, from today onwards, Kiriki will be staying with you. She shall have her position back, and the seal on her forehead shall be removed. She is now undergoing an S-rank mission as Konoha's Byako, and you'll be receiving personal trainings from her. Do not let her down, Naruto, for you still have 3 other protectors to meet, and to be able to pass their tests, you have to work hard. Do you understand? Naruto stood silent for a moment, before his grin widened and a light laughter was heard. Oi, Ji-san, who do you think you're talking to? His eyes shone with joy and determination, his face was set. I'm going to be future Hokage and I'll never give up. From now on I swear to never go back on my words, that is my Nindo. Believe it! Sarutobi nodded in satisfaction and motioned for Naruto go first as he needed to speak with Kiriki, who did so quickly, but not before giving Kiriki a big hug, thanking her. He then dashed off to the Hyuga Manor, wanting to tell Hitomi of the good news as soon as he can. Kiriki stepped forward. Hokage-sama? Sarutobi took a puff on his pipe, before laughing. He reminds me of Minato, vibrant and full of energy. A genius in his own right. Kiriki chuckled. Indeed. He is very energetic. But he has untapped potential. Haha, your leader would have laughed at me saying the term genius, won't he? Kiriki's eyes softened, and whispered, yeah. Sarutobi nodded. He always believed that the term tensai, prodigy, stands for a baka from heaven. That kid, he works hard, harder than anyone I've ever known, yet he trains smart. He'll be fine. Kiriki bit her lips. I hope so. Haha, Konoha's Sarayu won't be beaten that easily. He's coming back in 3 years. Kiriki's head shot up. Really? Sarutobi nodded. And he wants me to tell you not to worry about him. He says it's bad for your health. I have to say that I agree. Kiriki blushed a bright crimson at that statement. That baka. One last thing, Kiriki, look after yourself, don't train the kid too much that you can't take it. I don't want you to get injured all over again. Hi, Hokage-sama. Very well, dismissed. And with that Kiriki left, but as she stepped out onto the streets, she couldn't help but stare at the moon. Where are you, Ryusei? Chapter 7 Prankster. Naruto! Yelled a certain very pissed-off Chunin-sensei. Zzzzzzz was the only sound available from a certain sleeping blonde-haired boy. Growling, stop sleeping and get your butt working, roared Iruka. HMZZZZZZ. Oh ho, to say Iruka was pissed was an understatement. He had tried all sorts of nice ways of waking Naruto up. Alas, not even using a microphone and aiming it right at Naruto's ear did the job, so now, he had to resort to the old-fashioned evil ways, namely, take that. Splash! Gah! What the hell, Iruka-sensei? Snarled a very wet Naruto, not to mention cold as well. The nerve of him. It's not my fault his classes are so boring. Suddenly, the whole class that was laughing just seconds ago turned deathly quiet. Naruto blinked, before looking up at Iruka once again, only to find his face red with fury, his veins popping out from everywhere possible in his neck and face, his fists clenching so tight that they were turning white, his teeth were gritting, his eyes were glaring with such an intensity that even enemy Nins would have been killed. Naruto gulped, before giving an awkward grin. Aha, I didn't say that loud, did I? Smash! You're dead! Roared Iruka as he smashed his fist on the desk, where Naruto's head was a second ago. Oops, my bad, gotta go. And with that, once again, the blonde took off, with Iruka chasing after him. The rest of the class burst out in laughter at the scene before them. One would think that they could get used to this if it happened every day. Well, they are sadly mistaken, for this has happened for the past 2 years, every single day, and still, nobody could deny the laughter it brought to the class. Even Shino, the ever-so-quiet Aburame, was chuckling. Ino and Sakura were having the time of their lives laughing at the pranks played by Naruto. They had become the best of friends once again after that incident, and even got the chance to train with Kiriki to increase their chakra control and capacities. Of course, they did train once with Anko, if you could call that training. Naruto had to piggyback them home, seeing how they were totally unconscious by the end of the intensive torture training. And to say Hirono Nayuki and Yamanaka Yukiko were angry would seriously be the understatement of the century. Especially Nayuki. To Naruto, she was always so kind and gentle, old boy, but when she let out her inner self, dubbed Inner Nayuki, it was way too scary. Naruto had to reassure her that this sort of stuff won't ever happen again to calm her down. Funny thing was, Anko never knew this happened. Yukiko on the other hand raised an eyebrow as she heard her daughter tell her about how she would get stronger this way and stuff like that, and finally gave in. And so, they trained mainly with Kuriki, who was more than happy to help. Both of them thoroughly enjoyed the times they spent with Naruto, and when they entered the academy, for the first year, they were separated, leaving Sakura with Ino and Naruto by himself along with some others like Nara Shikamaru, Akimichi Choji and Abirame Shino. And so, it led to this other event. Flashback. Hey look! It's that girl with the big forehead. Yeah, so ugly. Can you believe it? Humph, and she thinks she's so pretty. Get her! Ami and her gang began to surround Sakura, only to find her scowling. Would you girls move? I'm waiting for Ino. Ami looked stunned, but regained her posture immediately. She smirked. Who? That ponytailed blondie? My lousy looks, lousy friends. Sakura's eyes narrowed. You don't want to finish that sentence. Ami's smirk widened. Oh, and what are you going to do? Cry. Ha! That Yamanaka has nothing. I'm the queen here. No one messes with me. Humph, and I heard you even befriend that blonde demon. Smash! A fist lodged itself firmly in her face, sending her onto the ground. Another came and gave her an uppercut, almost breaking her jaw almost. Ino landed gracefully and high-fived Sakura. Thanks, no problem, now I see we have some unfinished business. Sakura smirked evilly. Ino grinned. Yep. They dare badmouth Naruto, and it turned into a huge fight at the playground that day. Sakura and Ino emerged victorious, but not before getting scolded, i.e. yelled at with Iruka with big scary head jutsu on. They were pouting all along, and when Iruka finally finished lecturing them on the negative aspects of beating classmates up, he asked them why. To say he was surprised by their answer could be reasonable. They were insulting Naruto. Yeah, and Ino too. Iruka's jaw dropped. Whoa. Naruto got not one, but two girls to support him. The kids got class. No, what was he thinking? Naruto's way too young, and so, he dismissed the two of them and went to have a talk with Naruto. Flashback end. Sakura giggled at that memory and looked at Ino, only to find she was smiling as well. It was obvious they were both remembering what had happened. Poor Naruto was eating ramen, only to get yelled at by a very nervous and anxious Iruka, warning him about the dangers of premature relationships and how taking advantage of girls was a very unmanly thing to do, and stuff like that. He got so confused that he had run off to Kuriki, asking her about all the stuff Iruka said. The next day, a very red-faced Kuriki had gone to visit Iruka. He was sent to the hospital for a week after she was done with him. Sigh, those were the good days. And the funny thing is, even though Sakura and Ino are sure that Naruto knows all the stuff they had been studying in class, he was somehow the dope in class, in terms of test results. But outside of class, everyone knew he was one of the smartest guys out there, and his happy-go-lucky attitude made it very easy for others to be friends with him. Here's the thing, Naruto can answer any question Iruka throws at him. However, his test results were never higher than 50%. In fact, it was always 50%, every single test. Not once did it go below, not once did it go on top. It was amazing, yet ridiculous at the same time. What was the chance of that happening? Apparently a very high chance, seeing Iruka was getting really frustrated at Naruto's lack of interest in his classes. Yo! I'm back! Iruka-sensei has just given us the rest of the day free, yelled a grinning Naruto as he dashed back into the class, followed by a very tired Iruka. No, I didn't, yelled Iruka as the whole class once again started laughing. Just then, the bell signaling the end of the day rang and everyone cheered. Naruto grinned smugly at Iruka, giving him the I told you look. Iruka sighed as he shook his head in exasperation. Alright, fine, be gone, mumbled Iruka as the rest of the students rushed off to meet their parents. Naruto bid goodbye to Hinata and told Sakura and Ino to wait for him a little, before going over to Iruka. Sensei, sorry for all the trouble, but you've got to admit, this is way more fun. His grin must be a disease, it's so contagious that even Iruka found it difficult to suppress a smile. Iruka then became all serious. Naruto, the Genin exams are 2 days away, at least try and pay attention. Naruto grinned and wagged his finger at Iruka. Ah well, that depends on you then, Iruka-sensei. We don't want you hindering out education now, do we? The mischievous glint in his eyes said it all. Iruka merely bopped him on the head and shooed him out of the classroom, not wanting to have any more headaches for the rest of the day. Naruto quickly walked out of the academy, not wanting to let the ladies wait too long. He had promised Yukiko and Nayuki-san that he would walk Ino and Sakura home every day after school, seeing how he was free anyway. Naruto-kun! Finally, I thought you were just going to stay there and continuously prank the teachers. Teased Ino as she latched herself onto Naruto's back, just like old times. She would laze around as Naruto piggybacked her. That has always been the case, and Ino loved it. Naruto started it, saying how Ino always seemed so tired after school, and so, he had volunteered to help. Sakura giggled at the exasperated expression on Naruto's face as Ino ruffled his hair. They both knew how much he disliked that action. He kept saying it was weird having someone feeling around in your hair. Ino had more than enough stamina after training with Naruto and Kiriki, however, she just enjoyed the ride. Naruto knew that as well, but still let her have some fun. Sakura walked beside them, chatting on about the latest theories in Academy, and how she might be able to use them in her jutsus. It has always been known that Sakura was the smart one-off battle. She can invent new ways to direct her chakra that could save her wastage by 1 or 2%. She was remarkable in finding faults and creating new ways to overcome them. Naruto always had to thank her profusely for helping his chakra control improve, and she had always hit him lightly on the head, pouting as though Naruto had done something to annoy her. She had repeatedly told him this was what friends did to help one another. Naruto had cheekily replied that since he was best friends with Sakura and Ino, he could thank them over and over without getting punished. Sakura merely giggled at that whilst Ino had ruffled his hair, calling him a good boy. Say, are you guys ready for the Genin exam? Sakura asked. Of course we are. Sakura, what made you ask that? Ino grinned, eyes gazing towards Naruto, who was currently ignoring her for ruffling his hair. Sakura raised an eyebrow. Ino, you know what I mean. We're all ready, but someone seems to be lacking a bit of motivation. Naruto sighed and grumbled, right, I'll focus. I'll pass. Happy? Ino squealed with joy and hugged him from behind, well, more like headlocked him on purpose or not, we don't know. Alright, cut that out. But I really can't be bothered. Besides, even if we pass, we might have to leave each other. I don't like it, Naruto grumbled. Ino teased, oh, you just love our company, don't you, Naruto-kun? Naruto rolled his eyes, you think? Ino pouted and punched his back lightly. Hey! That's not very nice. Naruto shook his head and looked at Sakura, who was happily looking the other way, purposely evading Naruto's plea for help. Sai, you two are going to be the death of me. Both girls just giggled at his defeated tone, and once again, laughter filled the air as they chatted on other things. Soon, they arrived at Sakura's house, and so, Naruto and Ino bid her goodbye and continued on. Ino, Naruto whispered. We're arriving. Just a while longer. Mumbled Ino, who was half asleep on Naruto's back. It just felt so comfortable. Naruto was always the gentleman, doing his best to make sure the girls get the most out of his actions. If he wants to make you happy, you won't just be happy by the end of whatever he does. You'll feel the sincerity offered by his actions and the joy he felt for having such a friend. It's a mixture of feelings, and very hard to pinpoint what it exactly is. Nonetheless, Ino really enjoyed these moments with Naruto, for she would just lay on his shoulders, feeling his heartbeat close to hers, almost in unison. It felt warm, soothing, and the way he treats her like a princess is just a bonus. She really appreciates his presence. Like that time, when Ino had gotten a cut from accidentally brushing her hand across a thorn on a rose, he had stayed by her side the whole time, bandaging her finger carefully, and had blown on it for ages until he made sure that the pain was no longer there. That was when they were 6. And always, Ino found ways to thank him, like preparing bento, lunch boxes, for him and Sakura, yet his would be a little bit more special, either the design or ingredients. Sakura had always complained about how Naruto gets the most or the best stuff, and Naruto would laugh and split it between the 3 of them, getting a kiss on the cheek from them both. It just seemed so natural. They were like brother and sisters together. However, a part of her always nagged at her to not think of it that way, but she mostly ignored it. Come now, Ino. Time to go. Ino groaned as she slid off Naruto's back and steadied herself before pouting at Naruto, only to find him giving her a short tap on her forehead. Immediately, a small stream of chakra flew into her body through the tenketsu, pressure points, and she was wide awake straight away. Naruto chuckled, now, run along, I've gotta go. See ya. And with that, he ran off, waving back every now and then. Ino sighed and muttered baka. Oh, and who may I ask caused my daughter to sigh with such extreme frustration? To-san. Father, don't scare me like that. Ino glared at Inoichi, who was currently laughing at the look on his daughter's face. What's going on out here? Yukiko came out, and bopped Inoichi on the head. You're an adult, so fooling around. Come on, dinner's ready, Ino-chan, Hayaku. Hurry up. Ino huffed and rushed into the house, but not before slamming the door to her room, clearly angry. Inoichi chuckled as he told Yukiko what he saw. At the end of it, Yukiko almost squealed after hearing how Naruto and Ino were so close. She had always liked the boy, and Inoichi too was very impressed with his determination and perseverance in real life. The couple talked about it some more, before going back in to persuade their daughter to come down to dinner. After all, when it comes to dealing with children, parents have their ways. With Naruto. Yo, Shikamaru, Choji, Kiba. What you up to? Mendokus, I swear if you asked me what this means, Naruto, do you always have to be so loud? Mumbled a certain Nara as he laid the next move on the shogi board. Choji was merely munching on chips as he waved hello to Naruto. Kiba appeared to be deep in thought and yelped in surprise, therefore placing the piece on the wrong space. No, Naruto! How could you do this to me? Yelled Kiba as he cried mock tears at losing the hard-fought battle. Shikamaru placed a finger in his ear, trying to see if his eardrums had burst, before replying, Oh, come on Kiba, you've only made 10 moves anyway, doesn't matter. Come Naruto, you could give me a good game. Naruto grinned as he patted Kiba on the back, consoling him as he wept to Akamaru about how he was so close to victory. Hey Shino! Come on, don't just stand there. How many times do we have to remind you? Just come and have fun. You don't have to be that formal. Laughed Naruto as Shino emerged from the shadows. I have no idea what you're talking about, Naruto. Me either, but hey, that was pretty deep. Everyone's sweat dropped at Naruto's lame remark, but dismissed it as Naruto began his game with Shikamaru. It was always quite intense, seeing how the score was almost always tied. Right now, it was 34-33 in favor of Shikamaru. Naruto had found shogi and go to be very relaxing in some ways. True, it's quite hard to think of multiple strategies on the spot, but it allows the body to take a break from the physical stress and let the mind do some work. Shikamaru and Naruto made it a point to at least play one game a day. That way, both can stay sharp at all times. Alright. Now it's 34 all. Say, Shikamaru, Gomen, but I really have to run. See ya guys tomorrow. Naruto grinned as he quickly ran off. There was silence in the background before Kiba spoke up. That guy. He just doesn't want to lose once he's won, right? Shino gave a nod. Indeed, that seems to be the case. Shikamaru merely sighed. Mendokus. Choji laughed. Demo, Shikamaru, that was a good move, wasn't it? Shikamaru smirked, forcing my queen to protect the king, before backing me into a corner. Nice tactic. That guy just keeps coming up with new stuff. Kiba snorted. Well, what did you expect? He is Konoha's #1 surprising ninja. He should have been this year's best rookie. But maybe hanging around you has its downsides as well. Shikamaru chuckled. It does seem so, eh? Mendo no baka. Troublesome dumbass. With Naruto again. Kiriki Ani-chan. I'm home. Welcome back. Dinner's ready, so how's the game with Shikamaru? I won. It's a tie once again, and you left after you won that round, right? What? I just didn't want my beloved Ani-chan to wait too long. Yeah, I'm so grateful. Kiriki moved out of the Hyuga manor after that night, and along with Naruto, she moved into another apartment, slightly bigger than Naruto's original one. But this time, she was there to make sure that Naruto had a much better life than before. She really did care for him as a big sister. It was like having a blob of energy alongside you, spicing up your life every day. Some villagers had found it weird that a Hyuga was with the demon of the village, and had thought Kiriki was hypnotized. She sent them straight to the hospital when they tried to save her from the monstrous demon. Pathetic beings. Well, like her best friend always said, when you're dumb, nothing you do can change that. A/N. More will be elaborated about this comment in later chapters. Kiriki had supervised Naruto's training and made sure he mastered all of the styles within Tai Chi Jusen Shiki. She taught Naruto the lengthened version of the Tsuru style, Ryuta Genso Ken, Flowing Illusions Fist, involves the basis and positions of 8 divinations and the 5 elements of nature. It focuses on fluidity, speed, agility and flexibility. Naruto got it down quickly, but have complained that it somewhat goes against his style. Kiriki can see it as well. Naruto is more of a brawler, even though he would think before going in. He prefers to combine speed with strength. He likes to fight his opponents right on, not wanting to beat around the bush. And that totally defies the point of using Ryuta Genso Ken. This style is the final stage of the combined styles of Hibi, Saru and Tsuru. It allows the user to wait for openings and use the opponent's power against themselves. Kiriki could only chuckle as she saw his evident disappointment in not being able to show off his extreme power, but cheered up when he realized his speed and agility would increase by heaps. And so, he has now practically learned the style, and so, it's up to him to perfect it. To be honest, Kiriki knew the perfect style to fit Naruto's needs. Ryusei's taijutsu could be described as Naruto's dream style. Speed, precision, strength, and power. That's all you need. No techniques are wasted. All strikes must be accurate and straight to the point. That taijutsu is one of the reasons why Ryusei was the leader of the Shurfukai, for guardians, of Hai no Kuni. But guess it'll all have to come down to the kid's luck, thought Kiriki as she watched the boy rush through dinner. She knew he wanted to train more, and she complied, acting as his sparring partner. Naruto had actually been a very sharp kid. He had often asked her why she kept spacing off at times during training, and so she had told him about a certain aqua-haired brat acted the same way he did when he was 10. They were quite similar, and Kiriki couldn't help but feel amused. "Na-chan? Can we start?" Of course, sorry. Now, Naruto, I will not be holding back this time. I want you to impress me this time. Release the gravity seals. If you can land a strike on me, then you've successfully learned this style. The rest is for you to master. Now come. Naruto knew what she was testing. Ryuta Genso-ken, no matter what, if you actually learned the entire style, you would definitely be able to land a hit during a fight. No matter what happens, regardless of the strength in the fight, if you are able to go with the flow, seeking out the weakness of your opponent, then you've truly understood the style. And so Naruto charged, his eyes blazing with determination, ready to take up another challenge. If there's one thing about Uzumaki Naruto everybody knows, it'll be the fact that he never backs down from a challenge ever. Chapter 8 Duties. Today's the day. The big day, the absolutely fascinating day that every single academy student was waiting for, the day for the Genin exams. Everyone was excited, make no doubt about that. But as we all know, excitement can lead to lack of sleep at night, and it can also lead to people oversleeping. The best example would be a certain blonde-haired kid snoring lightly in his bed, even when the clock showed 9 o'clock in the morning. Zzzzzzz. It doesn't help that Kiriki was at the Hokage's office, reporting on Naruto's recent achievements in minor missions with her. Zzzzzzz. He had trained himself to the limit last night, going over the basics of chakra control once again. He had found out a way to fully utilize Bunshin no Jutsu, and he was going to make sure he did it right. Zzzzzzz. Kiriki left at 7 meaning, Naruto, Nanny? Nanny? Naruto sprung up from the bed, twisting his head left and right, trying to find the cause of such an uproar. And he found it. Standing right in front of him was an exasperated Kiriki. Naruto, how many times must I tell you? Never train the day before an important mission. You rest and make sure you stay alive and awake, not go train yourself to death and miss the mission, said Kiriki as she gently smacked him on the head. Ugh, Kiriki-chan, what time is it? He gave a big yawn as he got off his bed, trying to blink his sleepiness away. Kiriki sighed. 9. Naruto blinked. He stuck his pinky in his ear and cleared off some earwax. What time was it? Kiriki clenched her fists. 9. Naruto yawned again. Great. It's only 9 p.m. Now I get to sleep more. It's 9 a.m. you lazy bum. Almost half of Konoha heard the shrewd, desperate cry that erupted from a certain apartment. Nanny? At the academy, Sakura was tapping her foot. Ino was trying her best to decide whether she should kill Naruto quickly or give him a slow, painful death. He was late. 1 hour late. Yeah, and they were about to get to the bottom of the list of names of students taking this exam. They were currently on Sasuke as in Uchiha Sasuke. Unlike other girls, right now, the name Uchiha actually meant quite a lot. See, where other girls would magically make all their Uchiha fangirl merchandise appear out of nowhere straight away, Sakura and Ino knew that the word held so much more meaning. The name after Uchiha happens to be Uzumaki, and there is only one Uzumaki in this whole class, and he is late meaning he'll miss the exam as in he'll lose the chance to become a Genin with them. Yeah, that would probably be the reason why both girls had an aura that screamed death, and indeed, even Sasuke felt a little terrified at the sight of Sakura cracking her knuckles and Ino fingering her kunai. Yeah, not the most reassuring scene. Iruka sighed as he came to the next name. Uzumaki Naruto, and here he was contemplating whether he should skip it and let others do it first. But he saw the glee in Mizuki's eyes and knew there was no way he could pull it off. Therefore, sighing, Iruka called out, "Up next, Uzumaki Naruto. Please enter the room for your Genin exam." Silence. Well, not exactly. The shivering of bodies due to the intensified death aura of the two girls did cause some noise. Calling again. Uzumaki Naruto. Please make your way into the exam room. Akamaru was whimpering within Kiba's jacket, trying to get his owner to stay as far away from the girls as possible. Kiba, however, had been dumb enough to ignore it. What, Akamaru? They aren't that scary. Humph, maybe that blonde idiot might even fail. Oh shit. Indeed, what would you do when you had just pissed off two already angered females? Kiba did the most sensible thing. He ran like girl, and he got caught seeing how the other two ran faster, and the scene wasn't pretty. Uzumaki Naruto, last chance to get into the exam room. Kiba's cries slowly got louder as the two began to seriously vent their frustrations on the unlucky dude who had been dumb enough to test their patience. Mizuki smirked. Alright then, Uzumaki Naruto, due to his inability to be late, and therefore, here I am. So wait the hell up, yelled a certain blonde as he charged into the class via the window and landed onto the floor, skidding to a halt right in front of Sakura and Ino and the figure that used to be Kiba. Naruto-yen. Ino latched herself onto him straight away, whilst Sakura took the opportunity to give him a hug or a headlock, depending on which way you see it. Naruto can't tell, he's seeing stars at the moment. Saw Sakura-chan air. Oh oops, I didn't do that on purpose. Sakura smirked deviously. Ino grinned. Oh sure we didn't. Naruto sighed, before giving them his foxy grin. Sorry for worrying you guys, but I'm here, and I'll be damned if I let you down. Cheer for me. And with that, he walked into the exam room, with a somewhat angry Mizuki. The girls shook their heads in exasperation. Their gift to Naruto had been quite unique. Ino bopped him on the head. Sakura shook her head before giving him a small kiss on the cheek, and they had both smiled and wished him the best of luck. Kiba was crying by now. It just isn't fair. He was manlier, he was stronger, and he was more handsome, so why was he being treated like this? Naruto was the cause of their anger, yet here he was, being beaten within an inch of his life, yet Naruto was let off with a simple headlock, a bop on the head, and a kiss? Life sucks. Shikamaru laughed, as did the whole class, whereas Sasuke just muttered "dope" under his breath. Shino chuckled, as did Hinata, before she quickly went over to Sakura and Ino and began to chat like they always do. They had become very good friends, with Sakura and Ino acting as big sisters to Hanabi as well. They had fallen in love with the girl, or so Naruto said, when they met Hanabi. She was so cute. Hinata chuckled at the memory. Hanabi was glomped over and over. But still, she liked Naruto and Ai-chan the best, and Naruto knew it. He deserved it really. Naruto had protected Hanabi ever since she was allowed to go for walks out of the manor. He was sort of the overprotective big brother. Now, Konohamaru was Naruto's friend, and sort of a younger brother. And no matter what pranks he pulled, Naruto wouldn't mind, but when that prank seems to involve a certain brunette with white eyes, namely Hyuga Hanabi, oh boy, Konohamaru was scared out of his mind. He had never seen Naruto that angry. Well, granted, he had rarely seen Naruto angry, but hey, just a description. Anyways, he had thought Naruto would find it funny if the little girl somehow tripped and fell. So he did some stuff, and yeah, Naruto had smacked him hard on the head and roared on about how he had the guts to bully his baby sister. Konohamaru almost wanted to wring her neck when she saw the devious smile she had on her face. Keyword almost. She was so cute that Konohamaru forgave her in a second. Naruto didn't though. That proved to be a problem. For a while, every time Konohamaru met Hanabi, he would rub his head subconsciously. Wonder why. Sakura and Ino had a lot of cat whistles and stuff coming to them for a long while. It's undeniable. They are the two prettiest girls in the academy. Sakura was a very diligent student, not to mention that she was extremely polite and friendly. The teachers love her, and of course, the whole class loves her. Why? She bumps their average up by at least 5% every test. Now that's saying something. Ino was known to be the gentle, caring type, though Naruto had begged to differ and got smashed into a wall, seeing how her hands were able to assist the growth of any flower in Konoha. Her smile was cute. It's either a sexy leer like Anko, nor a beautiful, genuine smile like Sakura. Just mischievously cute. Naruto knew what that smile meant more than anyone else. It was Ino's signature smile for "if you play nice, I'll love you. If you don't, and we leave it there." So you see, there's a reason why no one makes a comment about the kisses given to Naruto. More like no one dares to make one. Besides, it's a pretty common scene anyway. Everyone just treated this as a means of friendship. Sure, the rest of the fangirls don't care about what happens to Naruto, but hey, the smart boys from other classes do. Many had tried to win the hand of the two girls by challenging Naruto. Sadly, none survived. They were utterly humiliated by Naruto, who had no idea what was going on. It sort of went like this. Uzumaki. I hereby challenge you for the love of that beautiful cherry blossom. Naruto's sweat dropped. Okay, so what exactly is this about? Why, what a youthful question. I shall fight for the love of my life. Sakura-san. Huh, oh. Such a cool response. As expected from someone so close to Sakura-san. Okay, not understanding what the hell you're talking about, but it seems as though you are getting the wrong idea. And oh, impossible. Are you denying me the honor of fighting for my love? Shut up. Sakura-chan is not an object. At that, the boy stopped. His eyebrows raised in confusion. Naruto took a deep breath, his eyes narrowing. I don't know what your intentions are with Sakura, or what this love thing you keep calling is about, but I warn you now. He took a step forward and cracked his knuckles. You dare treat Sakura as an object merely to serve your existence, and I'll beat you up so bad that you'll never become a ninja. How dare you even insinuate such a thing? The boy's mouth dropped open. He gaped for a while, before bowing to Naruto. I understand. My apologies. I have been beaten and totally overthrown by your youthfulness. I sincerely apologize for what I said. Until next time we meet, Naruto-kun. I deem you my most worthy rival. And with that the boy left. Naruto didn't know, but at that time, Sakura and her mother, Nayuki, were next door, waiting to meet Irika to get her prize for being an outstanding student. Every single word Naruto said was heard loud and clear. Nayuki smiled warmly at the boy as Sakura rushed to embrace him, thanking him for acting like a baka. Naruto laughed and scratched his head, saying that he really had no idea what that boy meant. Well, who could blame him? He was 9. But Sakura had remembered it till this day, and she really thanked Naruto for it. It was sort of what she had dreamed of, someone to protect her, someone like a prince. Well, Naruto wasn't exactly a prince on first look, but hey, details, who needs them? Sakura had asked what the boy looked like so she could actually see what this youthful suitor of hers looked like. Naruto had raised an eyebrow and said, I don't think you would like him, Sakura-chan. Honestly, you would get freaked out by his posture, not to mention those eyebrows, I swear they're evil. And Sakura had left it at that. And of course, while she had her suitors, Ino had her fair share as well. Hers had been less eventful, mainly due to the fact that while Sakura retained her image as a nice and shy, sort of, girl, Ino had been a tigress literally. Anyone that dared so much as flirt with her, well, let's just say that they learned to fear a kunoichi very quickly. One guy had the guts to yell out in front of the whole class how he was such an amazingly handsome dude that Ino should just beg for him to be with her. Ino had an answer to that. Hello mister, meet your new friend. And she had shoved her foot right at his crotch. A large splatter sound could be heard and Ino had humphed and left the room, all the while muttering about senile guys. She had even said thank you to Naruto, who was just about to bash the guy for even daring to suggest his superiority to females. Note, Naruto had his mouth wide open. Needless to say, the guy ended up in ICU for 3 days. The class never saw him since. He changed to another class and wouldn't even come within 20 meters of Ino. Yukiko had laughed when Naruto had told her what happened. The look on his face was adorable. He was angry and he was wincing, most likely thinking of how hard Ino must have kicked Shudder. Yep, those were the good times, Hinata chuckled. In the exam room. Okay, Naruto, for the first task, perform a henge no jutsu please. Naruto rolled his eyes. Yeah, I rushed all the way here for this damn exam to do a henge woohoo, I so have a life. But nonetheless, he muttered, henge. And in a burst of smoke, transformed into a perfect Irika. Irika nodded and said, well, next perform a standard kawarimi no jutsu, replacement technique, with anything in this room. Naruto raised an eyebrow. Anything? Mizuki growled. Just do it, brat. Stop wasting our time. Naruto shrugged. Fine. With that, he formed the seals and in a second, he swapped places with Mizuki's watch, meaning, ouch. HMO, oops, I was going to swap with you sensei, guess I missed. Replied Naruto nonchalantly. Irika did his best to suppress his chuckle as Mizuki cursed under his breath. He knew Naruto had done it on purpose. But to be able to swap places with such a small thing now that required at least high Chunin level chakra control. Many though kawarimi to be basic, and deemed it useless, but smart guys like Naruto would take advantage of that. If Naruto had a kunai, things just keep getting better. Now, for the final part of the exam, Naruto, perform 3 functioning bunshins please. Naruto grinned and said, Bunshin no jutsu. And in an instant, 5 bunshins phased into existence. No smoke, meaning no wastage of chakra, excellent. Irika gave a nod of approval. Well done, Naruto. Here is your Hitite headband with a leaf symbol on it. Congratulations on becoming a genin. Naruto gave one of his rare smiles. Arigato ni, Irika-sensei. And with that, he walked out of the class, leaving a very happy Iruka and a very pissed Mizuki back in the exam room. Naruto saw that everyone was gone by now, and only Sakura and Ino were left. Naruto blinked and looked at the clock. It was already 10:30. Looks like he actually spent quite some time in there. Naruto, instead of tying his hatayate onto his head, fastened it onto his left arm and gave a foxy grin towards the girls. Both laughed at his childish antics and congratulated him. Good to see you pass, Naruto-kun. We knew you could, but that laziness might just be a problem. Ino smirked. Naruto grasped his heart in mock sadness. My, Ino-chan, I'm depressed that you would think so lowly of me. Sakura giggled and gave a wink at Ino. Come on, Naruto. We're treating you to a chiraku ramen. Naruto blinked. No way did I hear. He gulped. Sakura, did you just say? Ino gave a maniacal grin. Indeed, all you can eat Ichiraku ramen coupon is all we need. And frankly, at the moment, it's all we have. So live with it. Naruto's eyes turned to stars as he yelped in joy and pulled both girls in for a big hug. Thanks. Wow, never thought I would see the day that you two actually encouraged me to eat at Ichiraku. True, even though it tastes good, it is junk food, but special occasions do have their benefits. Naruto grinned, before frowning slightly. Sakura-chan, could I hold this offer until tomorrow? I got some things that I need to sort out today. Gomen. Sakura raised an eyebrow. Huh? But Naruto was already out of the room. See ya guys tomorrow. Sorry I couldn't walk you guys home. Ino blinked. Did he just? Sakura gave a hesitant nod. I think he did. In unison, they cried, "Oh my god, Naruto rejected ramen." And if one listened closely enough, they would have heard the voice somewhere outside the academy. And oh, I didn't, at the Hokage's office. Izumi-san. Can I see Hokage-san for a sec? There's some things I need to discuss with him. Sure thing, Naruto-kun. Naruto gave a smile and quickly entered the office, his face rid of all playfulness. Time to get serious. Hokage-san, something's not right with Mizuki. I'm sure Kurikiani-chan has reported that to you this morning. Sarutobi sighed. Yes indeed, but I still find it hard to believe that he would have the guts to do something disastrous. He can't possibly succeed. Ji-san, the scroll of forbidden techniques isn't exactly well hidden anyway, so he could just distract you with an Ika Paradise book and get on with his job. I'm sure someone else is behind this, and I can only think of one person. A certain vile Hibiyero, snake bastard. Sarutobi thought for a moment, before nodding. Okay, I'll let you handle this one like Kiriki requested, but Naruto, do be careful. Naruto laughed. Come on, Ji-san. I was the one to find out about his plot. Give me some credit, will ya? Indeed, Naruto had become suspicious of Mizuki ever since that time he overheard him talking about forbidden techniques and scrolls and stuff in the forests. He had made a Kage Bunshin to follow him, and had found out about his plan. That was 2 months ago. It originally consisted of Naruto failing his Genin exam and Mizuki convincing him to steal the scroll of forbidden jutsus. The nerve, and Naruto had informed the Hokage straight away. So all he had to do now, he smirked. Hokage-ji-san. Plan A is now in action. Sarutobi blinked. Huh? Naruto formed the ram's seal quickly and yelled, Oiroku no jutsu, perverted jutsu, and in a poof of smoke, a naked and sensual blonde girl with her hair tied up in a long ponytail was standing there, in all her glory, with smoke intentionally covering the major parts of the female body, leaving lots of room for all kinds of information. Oenige-ai, Hokage-samaya. The female gently nibbled on her forefinger and stared with her beautiful cerulean eyes at the Hokage, suggesting some very intimate actions. The result was instantaneous, due to the sheer power of the technique. Against perverts, Sarutobi was flung back from the huge amount of blood lost through his nostrils and was currently rendered unconscious on the ground, twitching. A poof of smoke was seen and instantly, Naruto appeared again, shaking his head. Man, Ajizan, you honestly have to control yourself, stop being such a pervert. And sighing, he made his way to the shelf and muttering a quiet kai, he dispelled the genjutsu and grabbed the forbidden scroll, and tying it onto his back, he whispered, Genjutsu, Akiraka Jisiki. Clear trace, and within seconds he became invisible. Then quiet as a cat, he leapt out of the office windows, and dashed off towards the forests. 5 hours later, Hokage-sama. Is it true? Did Naruto really steal the scroll of forbidden techniques? Iruka blurted out as he dashed into the office. Mizuki was following him thinking, God damn it, that stupid brat, why did he have to complicate things? Sarutobi gave a grave nod, though inside, he was cursing like mad at Naruto for pulling that jutsu off. Iruka, Mizuki, search for him alongside the other ninjas I've dispatched. Now go! and bring him back alive. Hi! And they're off. Sarutobi grumbled as he took out his crystal ball and began to watch the whole event unfold itself. In the forest, few now that was totally worth learning. He had already mastered Kagebunshin no Jutsu, so he figured that he could use some more jutsus, and since he was going to capture Mizuki anyway, why not learn a few first? And so he had opened the scroll, and flipped past Kagebunshin. The next jutsus, however, caught his eye. It was Tajua Kagebunshin no Jutsu, Mass Shadow Clones Technique, and Bunshin Daibakuha, Clone Explosion, and he was almost giddy with joy at that. Imagine the pranks now, no time to be thinking about that, and so, he had set off to practice it. He mastered it within an hour, and seeing how Mizuki probably still has yet to arrive, he flipped further through the scroll. Mokutan? What element, huh? Is there even such an element? Kit, that element has been extinct for at least 40 years. Your Shodaime Hokage was the only one in this village to be able to use it. Really? Whoa, so can I learn it? Actually, you just might be able to do it. Okay, give it a try. Concentrate on your water and ground chakra natures, clear your mind of all the other ones. But that's so hard. Just do it. Fine, there, done. Now focus water onto your left hand, ground onto your right. Picture it, feel it within you, the chakra movement. The growth of life. And once you get the flow, combine the two forces and see what happens. Really? Air sounds a bit too easy though. If it wasn't for my affinities to all elements, you reckon you could even learn this? Alright, calm down, okay, here we go. And he slapped both palms together, and placed them onto the ground in one swift motion, Kisiten no Jutsu. Tree birth technique. If he did it right, a humongous tree would appear in front of him just about now. Even Kyubi was at a loss for words. Kid, you're pathetic. On the ground in front of them was a very small seedling. Like 2 centimeters tops. That small. What the bloody hell? I told you to concentrate. I did. Lies. Did you feel the life essence stir within you? Did you feel it? Sigh, I thought so. Oh well, might as well copy the jutsus down, and try them later on. At least you proved that you can control the element, even if that was a totally dismal attempt. Hey! I tried. But it just feels awkward. Like a part of me wants to leave and I'm not too sure about that. I see. Well, we'll discuss this later. Now focus and train. That traitor should come soon. And so, Naruto had trained, and it was 7 in the evening already, when finally, a rustle of leaves was heard and Irika appeared in front of Naruto. Naruto! What were you thinking? How dare you, huh? Naruto yawned and grinned. Nah, Irika-sensei. I only learned 2 jutsus while I was here. What's the matter? Irika's sweat dropped. Do you know what scroll that is? Nope, but it had loads of jutsus, so I thought might as well. Naruto was enjoying every minute of this. The flabbergasted look on Irika's face was just too much. You were training? Duh. Naruto rolled his eyes. He was getting impatient. Surely, yep, he's here. Just then, a huge shuriken flew into view, almost cutting Irika in half had it not been for his quick reflexes. Naruto narrowed his eyes and dodged it as well. Who's there? Even though he knew perfectly well who that was. My, why did you have to be so damn bothersome? Now hand over the scroll, Gaki. Or die a painful death. I haven't got time to play with a demon, cussed Mizuki as he looked down arrogantly at Naruto and Irika. Irika was shocked. What is the meaning of this, Mizuki? The Hokage specifically told us to. Do you even think I actually care about what that old geezer says? This kid is the Kyubi. The demon reincarnate. You expect me to trust this little bastard? That's right, kid. You're the one that killed all those villagers 12 years ago. How'd you like that, huh? The whole village despises you, but that's not the point. Now hand over that scroll. I've got a deadline to meet. Naruto growled as his suspicions turned true, but he knew he needed to play his part. I have Kyubi in me? His face twisted into some sort of painful expression like he was constipated. But nonetheless. The Yoname sealed it within you, you damn fox. Now hurry up and do as I say, before I kill you. Irika roared in anger at his tone. Mizuki. I will not allow you to insult my student. He is an honorable genin of Konohagakure. He will become the future Hokage. Mizuki, due to your outrageous attempts at stealing the scroll of forbidden techniques and the breaking of Sandaime's law, I, Yumino Irika, Chunin of Konohagakure, hereby arrest you. Mizuki merely scoffed at that comment and laughed. You actually think you can beat me? With this power, I am invincible. And with each word, he began to transform, slowly into the body of a tiger humanoid. He grew fangs and claws, his whole body increased in size, his muscles grew larger, and his legs became longer. He now stood at a height of 2 meters, towering above Iruka and Naruto. Iruka gasped in shock at that. Mizuki, ha ha ha, this is the power of Orochimaru-sama. If I get him the scroll of forbidden techniques, I'll get more power. Now die, you pathetic worms. And with speed he had never shown before, he appeared right beside Iruka and smashed him right through a tree, knocking Iruka unconscious. Naruto snarled at that, as Mizuki smirked, turning to him, what are you going to do, you demon? Give me the scroll. Humph, over my dead body. That can be arranged. And Mizuki charged, punching at totally random intervals, bashing up everything in his path. Naruto flung the scroll into a tree trunk before concentrating. His chakra flared and got into his Ryudo Genso stance. Flowing illusions, he shouted, take this. All I need is the basics, and I can destroy you. Haze, Hiramiki Nijugo Sho. Swift current, 25 flash palms, and fully utilizing his original technique Shunpa, flash steps, he dashed in a circle around Mizuki, before landing multiple blows, one stronger than the other, knocking him into the air. Naruto kneed him in the chin, before disappearing and ramming his fist into his back. Basically, the muscles protecting the main organs were heavily barraged upon, and after forming a huge combo, Naruto ended it with a hard punch right in the guts, sending Mizuki flying into the ground. Naruto cracked his knuckles. Aha, how'd you like that? Mizuki coughed out blood, trying to get the nausea out of his brain. It wasn't just physical damage, the spins and the chakra blows hurt like hell, but his mind was all fuzzy, he lost all focus, feeling the urge to puke. Now, who's the man? Tajira Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. And in an instant 200 clones appeared beside them. Haha, someone's dizzy, eh? Beat the bastard up. Hell yeah. Needless to say, the whole village heard a very chilling NOOO as the clones did their job. Half an hour later, Sarutobi burst out laughing at the figure that was supposed to be Mizuki. Naruto had used extra strength, and made sure that bastard felt every single hit. That was some good stress relief. Naruto scroll? Eh? Kiriki Ani-chan? Kiriki was standing there, expressionless, hand stretched out, waiting for him to hand it over. Naruto had a bad feeling about this, especially the glint within Sandame's eyes. Oh, and so Naruto handed it over. Smash. How dare you use that jutsu again? How many times have I told you not to do that? Kiriki hollered as she continuously smacked Naruto with the huge scroll. I told you a million times, but you never listen, do you? How dare you defile the women's pride? Shit, she's really angry. Sarutobi sweat dropped. He had never thought it was this serious. Wait, is she looking at him? Kiriki was glaring at him. God help him. He whimpered and hid behind his desk. Hokage-sama, I can't believe that you, him. Right, Kiriki, please leave it at that, and take young Naruto home. I'm sure he's exhausted. Now I've some things I need to do, bye. And with a quick shunshin, he ran for his life. Kiriki then giggled and laughed full volume. Naruto quickly got up, and gave her a high five. Told you it would work. Kiriki ruffled his hair, earning a grunt of protest. My, looks like we did scare off Hokage-sama. Any did I hurt you? Naruto rolled his eyes. Of course. What am I made of? Steel? Kiriki grinned and said, well, mission accomplished. Shall we? And with a huge nod, Naruto walked out onto the streets, genuinely happy that he had been able to finish this B-rank mission. Damn, I missed that ramen feast. Kiriki sighed in amusement at the immaturity of Naruto when it comes to food, but as she smiled at the beautiful night scenery Konoha was offering. Minato and Ai-chan, he's growing gradually, yes, but I'm sure that one day, he will indeed surpass you. Chapter 9, Success. Wagged yawned Naruto, as he laid his head down once again on his desk. This was taking way too long. Iruka had gone off to get the list of teams, and he was away for half an hour already. The mission yesterday was quite a drag, and Kyubi had been annoying. He was constantly being berated at for not being able to produce a decent tree. Naruto had found a way to shut him up basically. He controlled what it looked like in his mind, so right now, Kyubi was in a huge plain, peaceful and quiet. Naruto didn't want to do this, but he had no choice, so he had added a single entity into his mind realm. The fact that Kyubi was actually howling in fear made Naruto's day. After all, that particular entity was the most frightening thing Naruto had ever come across. Sakura and Ino were worried about him, seeing his exhausted figure, but he had reassured them that he was alright. They were both skeptical, but left it at that. Kiba and the others too tried to find out what could possibly get the most energetic blonde into his current state. Sadly, all failed, seeing Naruto's attention span was really short right now. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, Iruka finally returned back to class, a wide smile evident on his face. He motioned for everyone to sit down, which earned quite a few questioning looks, seeing how usually he would just yell out "shut up" or something like that. He cleared his throat, and after getting everyone's attention, minus a certain blonde, he began, "Now, I am very proud to announce that this year has been extremely successful, and you lot has been, by far, the only batch with a 100% pass rate. I have confidence in you. I hate to tell you this, but the world for us shinobi is totally different from whatever you experience in class. The world out there basically follows one rule: the strong live, the weak fail. It's as simple as that." Irika paused, seeing the horrified looks on some naive ones, and amused looks on others, specifically Uzumaki. Now, here is where we reach a dilemma. What is the meaning of strong? What is true strength? That is the question I want all of you to keep in mind. Maybe to each of us strength would come from different sources, for different reasons, yet the sole purpose of being strong should never change. We are shinobi of Konohagakure. We are sworn to protect our village and its honor at all costs. That is a fact, but the ways and reasons for doing it must be pure. By now, everyone was starting to get freaked out. Where the hell was their lousy random speaking sensei? He was supposed to just give them a long bloody boring speech about how they passed, and give out the teams. Not to scare the heck out of them. I know how you feel. I was in your place, thinking about this same question as well. What is true strength? Remember that, and hopefully, that should act as a guide for you. Now, I'm sure everyone must be dying to know their teams after what I said, so let's start off. As you all know, Genin teams are made up of 3 Genins and a Jounin sensei. So here we go, Team 1. And so on it went. Sakura notably raised an eyebrow as none of her intimate friends had been called yet. Naruto sighed, and looked at Ino and Sakura with something like an apology. Gomen, if I had tried harder, the chance of us getting paired up may have been higher. Ino merely shook her head in exasperation and gave a smile. Well, we'll just hope for the best then. And just then, Irika announced Team 6, handpicked by the Hokage himself, with Tokubetsu, Special, Jounin Mitarashi Anko assigned as the Jounin sensei. He paused for a moment, noticing the rise he got out of the remaining Genins. Naruto snorted, thinking, whoever got her as the teacher is royally screwed. So here we go. Team 6 consists of Haruno Sakura. Sakura's head drooped as she repeatedly slapped herself lightly on the forehead, as though that would make the bad news go away. Ino grinned, tough luck. Yamanaka Ino, came Irika's very amused voice. The whole class began laughing as Ino's jaw smashed onto the ground, unable to believe that she was experiencing such horror. Naruto sighed, before raising an eyebrow, wondering who the hell would be the unlucky third member. Sure, he had said that he would have loved to be with Sakura and Ino as a team, seeing how their teamwork ruled everyone else in class. But seeing how the sensei was Anko of all people, he decided that he would rather face the girl's wrath instead of the sadistic bitch. So who could it be? Hope it's Kiba, then he'll get his ass handed to him over and over. Maybe Shikamaru, indeed they would work well. Shino. Nah, not possible. Mr. Almighty Uchihimo? Maybe Hope not, he's got enough fangirls and boys, let's just not go there. Choji's too nice. So no, any other males I should take into consideration. And finally, we have Uzumaki Naruto. As if on cue, the whole class roared with laughter. Kiba was banging his fists on the table, hollering about Naruto's misfortune. Even Shino was enjoying a good chuckle. The worst was Naruto. His eyes basically flew out of their sockets at that, with Sakura and Ino sniggering and muttering about how he had been unable to escape the claws of fate. This isn't funny. You better tell me you're joking, snarled Naruto as the whole class laughed even harder. Irika barely suppressed his chuckle as he explained, nope, it says here, Hokage recommendations, Team 6, Haruno Sakura, Yamanaka Ino, Uzumaki Naruto, Jounin Sensei, Mitarashi Anko, there you have it. But that's fine. Naruto slumped onto the table in defeat. Damn the stupid old man for doing this to him. He was sure it was payback for the prank he did yesterday. Irika waited for the class to settle down before continuing. Alright, Team 7, Uchiha Sasuke, Inuzuka Kiba, Akimichi Choji. Jounin Sensei, Hatake Kakashi. At that, Kiba sighed out loud, clutching his heart dramatically, and laid his hand on Choji's shoulder. Oh, why? What did I do to deserve this? Of all the people, why am I teamed up with Emo Pants? The boys in the class, especially Naruto, roared with laughter at that one. The girls, well, other than Sakura, Ino and Hinata, were basically oozing killing intent. Choji chuckled at the murderous look on Sasuke's face, knowing that things were really going to get interesting from now on. And now, we have Team 8, consisting of Aburame Shino, Hyuga Hinata, Naresh Shikamaru. Jounin Sensei, Yohi Kurinai. Shino merely nodded, clearly pleased that he was on the same team with two friends. Hinata merely smiled meekly at the other two, whereas Shikamaru seemed very relaxed. Naruto raised an eyebrow. Shikamaru, no troublesome comment? Shikamaru smirked. Now, Naruto, I think I'll let you have that today. Seeing how Hinata is basically the only normal girl in this class, and she's on my team, while you've got two unique girls in yours, with a sadistic female sensei, I would say you need it more than me. Ino's eyes narrowed dangerously, her voice sweet and nice. What was that, Shikamaru? Didn't quite catch it. Shikamaru rolled his eyes. Nothing that you should know, which is practically everything. I heard that. Meh, too bad I guess. And before Ino could charge over and mutilate Shikamaru, Iruka closed his roll book and smiled. Well, the Jounin senseis should be coming soon. I wish you all the best for your futures. Make sure you live up to the honor of being a Konoha shinobi, you hear that? Hi! Sensei, good, or I have something I need to do now, so bye. And Iruka quickly rushed out of the classroom, leaving Naruto and the others a tad bit suspicious. Naruto-kun, you don't think? No way. Naruto's eyes widened, and not a moment later, the classroom door slammed open, and in came a brunette with short, crispy purple hair tied up by her headband. She was wearing a trench coat over her usual attire of fishnet blouse /n. I sincerely apologize to all my readers, because I cannot, for the love of me, describe a person's attire properly, so please bear with me for the moment. LOL. With a short miniskirt, her crazy grin was still there, as if mocking the Genins right in front of her. She had a killer body, if you look at the expressions on Kiba's face. Indeed, her curves were very alluring, and to say that Ino was jealous would be an understatement. Hell, even Sasuke blushed at her figure. The only person unaffected by her appearance was Naruto, seeing how he was totally used to her unpredictable actions, and seeing how he was not a pervert, he naturally scowled at her. He had always told her that she wore too little. Alas, it always falls on deaf ears, but she did tease him a bit. Now, where is my favorite blonde? All of a sudden, many beams of killer glares were aimed at Naruto, seeing how he was the only male blonde in class. Naruto's sweat dropped at Kiba's agitated posture and gave a sigh of exasperation. Anko-chan, cut the crap. Where do we meet? Anko pouted. You ruined it. Alright, the usual place, you know where that is. Come on, we don't have all day. And mind you, little brats, she turned to the other Genins and her eyes narrowed dangerously, that familiar maniacal glint appearing behind those orbs. If I ever find any of you undressing a girl with your eyes again, a kunai appeared in her hand, I'll make sure a very important part of your anatomy is severed, without question. That being said, she poofed out of the class in a cloud of smoke, leaving a totally terrified class behind. Naruto chuckled, then looked over at Sakura and Ino. Come on, let's get going, we don't want her to kill us now, do we? Sakura gulped and Ino shivered a little. Obviously, events of their last training session continues to linger in their minds. Naruto grinned. It'll be fine, knowing Anko, I can tell she's happy. I reckon this is the first time she's ever led a team, let alone a team she trusts and loves. Now let's get there and show her what we got. Right. Instantly, the pressure was off. Sakura and Ino couldn't help but smile at his grin. Right. Confidence seems to have come back, and now that they think about it, Anko was really a very nice person if you exclude the sadistic part, and the maniacal part, and the sluttish part, and the arrogance. Yeah. Shaking her thoughts, Sakura wondered, Naruto? The usual as in, the training grounds? Or her favorite hangout spot? Naruto grinned. Sakura-chan, isn't it obvious? She likes dango, I like ramen, where do you think we can get those? Later. Yo, nice to see that you guys were on time. Cheered Anko as she took another bite from her dango stick. Naruto shook his head as he yelled, Ajisen. 2 miso ramen please. Sure thing. Of all the places, why Ichiraku ramen? I'm thinking that question is basically rhetorical. Anko pouted. Oh come on. I was hungry. Everyone's sweat dropped. That's it? Anko grinned. Besides, we're better to start off introducing ourselves. So come on, tell me about your dislikes, likes, hobbies, goals, etc. Come on Pinky, let's go. Sakura twitched a little at her new nickname, but nonetheless, she began. My name is Harino Sakura, I like my best friends Ino and Naruto and reading novels and well, just hanging out. I dislike perverts and anything perverted. That includes Naruto's Oiroku no Jutsu. She ignored Naruto's retort. Hey. I'll have you know that is very useful. She continued. My goals, well, I would want to become a strong kunoichi, probably a medic nin as I progress. Anko nodded. Okay, you're next Piggy. A vein popped out of her forehead at that, but Ino calmed herself. Name's Yamanaka Ino. I like gardening, tending to flowers, hanging out with my best friends Sakura and Naruto, Basically, I love flowers. I dislike people who disrespect my friends and those who think they're almighty just because they're male. My goal may be something in the interrogation department would be suitable, seeing how my mind jutsus would work very well. Enko was almost giddy with joy at that statement. You go girl. We were just looking for some more recruits, and I'll be damned if I cannot train you to become better than me in that department. Alright, finally, our lovable brat. Thanks. Answered Naruto dryly as he sighed. Well, you all know me. Uzumaki Naruto is the name. Likes ramen, Sakura-chan, Ino-chan, training, coming up with new jutsus, Anko-chan, Kariki-chan, Hokageji-san. Dislikes perverts, and their stupid perverted novels. Goal, to become the greatest Hokage this village has ever seen. Oh, is that so? We'll see if you can live up to that. She took out her purse and placed some money on the counter. Tuchi-san. Can I get 10 sticks of dango with me to take away? In a sec, yelled the old man from the kitchen, busy preparing the food. Alright, you guys, head towards training grounds 43 right now. I'll be there soon. Time for the real Genin test. Haha, for some reason, that laugh just sent chills down their spines. At training grounds 43. Naruto, what do you think she meant by the real Genin exam? Sakura asked. Naruto shrugged. Probably some tests used to cut down the incompetent Genins that passed the academy. Remember how Iruka-sensei told us that the skills we need in the academy and out here are totally different? Well, I'm guessing that we're now going to be tested on that something different. Well done, Naruto-chan. Grinned Anko as she appeared in a swirl of leaves. Ino raised an eyebrow. Clearly explain it, please. Anko suddenly grew serious, her face abandoning her usual cheerful expression. The Genin exam in the academy was just to see if you guys qualified to be a Genin. Whether you actually succeed depends on us Jounin senseis. And to tell you guys the truth, the pass rate is pretty low. Only 1/3 of all the students can pass. That's a 67% fail rate for you. 67? That's just. Anko nodded. Each Jounin sensei has their own tests to deem if their team is up to standard. And now, welcome to your very own Genin Shuriken exam. Objective of this exam? Find me and attempt to disable me before I finish my dango. That would be about half an hour. Good luck. Oh, and don't forget to come at me with the intent to kill. And with that, she grinned, and disappeared into the forest. Sakura and Ino immediately readied themselves, getting into their stances, whereas Naruto frowned. Sakura, Ino, it's not that simple. Both girls looked at him, curious. They could tell he was totally serious, judging from the way he left out the chan suffix. This is training ground 43, the one beside the dreaded 44. Although slightly safer, we can't rule out the possibilities of traps. Besides, think about it, we're Genin hopefuls, she's a Tokubetsu Jounin. Skill difference is quite big, surely she doesn't expect us to win. A look of realization dawned on Sakura. Teamwork. Ino snapped her fingers. I get it. When she told us to rush at her with the intent to kill, it was merely to get us sidetracked and lose focus. Naruto grinned. Exactly. Now, we know she has 10 dango sticks. She says it's going to take half an hour. What do you girls say I don't know, make that into 2 hours. The smirk on his face was hard to miss, and slowly, but surely the girls understood his plan, and without a word, that dashed off to their relative positions. After all, they had trained together for so long, one word from each other, and they would know how to act straight away. Anko knew their strengths, yes, but would she expect them to fully utilize their skills and use teamwork to give them the final boost? That is what Team 6 is betting on. With Anko in the forest, already on my second and still no movement. What are those brats doing? Slacking? Humph, I expected better. Wait, she smirked as she spotted a slight pinkish tinge behind one of the trees 10 meters away. Show time. And so, sticking one final dango into her mouth, she threw away the stick and dashed towards her target. Secretly she thought 1 down, 2 to go. But then, gotcha! Katon, Shikaku! Fire element, crimson fireball. Anko cussed as an orb of fire hit her right on, activating the kawarini she had placed on herself ages ago. Now Naruto-chan, what did I teach you about patience? Naruto growled and formed another series of seals quickly. But did you know I could do this? Doton, Doria Taiga, earth element, earth dragon mudflow. A stream of mud rushed at Anko, forcing her to dodge it. Damn, when did this kid learn an earth-type jutsu? A B-rank one no less. However, her face remained neutral as she yelled out, Senya Jashu. Multiple snake shadow hands, and right on cue, several snakes burst out of her sleeve and coiled up around Naruto firmly, preventing him from moving. Anko looked disappointed. My, you've certainly become weaker. Looks like you failed this time. Naruto merely scowled before giving a grin. You think? And with a poof, he erupted in a cloud of smoke. Anko's eyes widened. Kage Bunshin. Shit. And indeed, Ino was already on it. Ninpo, Shuriken Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, ninja arts, multiple Shuriken clones technique, and a whole horde of shurikens flew at Anko, forcing her to evade and land on the right-hand side. Good, but not good enough. Futon de Tapa. Wind element, great breakthrough, and with a huge gust of wind, she blew away all the shuriken, neutralizing the threat, or so she thought. Sakura had appeared at that moment. Having jumped into the sky, she had yelled, Rankyaku, Toratsum, Storm Leg, Tiger Claw, and with a war cry, she smashed her leg into the spot where Anko had been just a few seconds ago. The attack caused several cracks to appear on the ground. Pretty good for someone who just learned it a few months ago. Maybe I shouldn't have asked Guy about that attack. Sakura's taijutsu scrolls came from Guy. Well, she went to ask Anko, and Anko had gone to Guy. But anyway, the taijutsu Sakura was using is called Rankyaku, focusing chakra onto one's feet and leg, causing huge amounts of damage to anything it comes into contact with. However, there's catch. The difference between Goken, hard fist, and Rankyaku is that Goken merely requires one to have large amounts of chakra and channel as much of it into one's limbs as possible. Rankyaku, however, requires extreme chakra control, releasing a precise amount of chakra at that particular moment for it to work. Of course, large chakra reserves are always a plus. Sakura had found it useful, but till now, had only mastered one single attack. It was the easiest for Sakura, seeing how one had to attack from above, and gather speed and chakra as they fell. Her chakra reserves were about average, and so, she relied mainly on control. Her accomplishment on this style is around 0.1%, meaning not a lot at all. Anko was surprised by it, but merely brushed it aside. She would never have expected Naruto to suddenly appear behind her. Akaraka Jisiki. Kai. Clear trace. Release. I'll take those, thank you very much. And to Anko's utmost horror, Naruto had stolen her bag of dango, and had dashed off with them, along with Ino and Sakura. Her mouth was gaping. Then slowly, the flames within her burned ferociously, and she growled, "Get back here, you brats! I'm gonna freaking kill you!" As she charged after them, Naruto gave a nod and stopped halfway, forming his seals, Ryu, Tora, Torai Ohitsuji, Uma, Hibi, Ryu. Alright, check this out. Hark! And once again, that familiar flame engulfed his hand, yet this time, it was blue in color. The flames looked cool and deadly, and slowly, by using form manipulation, he willed the flames into a spiral around his entire right forearm. Anko, having been angered by the loss of her dango to mere brats, ignored the jutsu and charged straight on, thinking how futile that attack would be if it missed. Naruto grinned and yelled, "Amada!" Now, Sakura concentrated on her remaining chakra and with all her power, smashed it into a small tree, blasting it towards Anko, giving her quite a shock. She nimbly dodged it, but saw that Naruto was charging towards her, and yelled, "Alright, brat. Bring it. This one you should know." Futon, Kaze no Fukumen, wind element, wind veil, and immediately, a whirlwind began to pick up around Anko, forming a roaring shield around her. Naruto concentrated and yelled, "It's over! Ino, your cue! This is the improved version of my last attack. You're the first to test it, sensei." Saika, Kane Rin, azure flames, blaze wheel. Grasping his right arm tightly with his left, he dashed straight at Anko's Kaze no Fukumen and clashed with it right on, the flames dancing against the whirlwind, going with the flow of the wind, and with a huge boom. The fire successfully dispelled the winds with a grinning Naruto looking at a dumbfounded Anko, and right after that, a clear voice rang out, "Alright. Ninpo, Shinranshin no Jutsu, ninja arts, mind-body disruption technique." The effect was instantaneous. Anko's movement was effectively stopped for the time being, and it was all they needed. "We win, sensei," said Sakura as she placed the kunai against Anko's neck, thereby signifying their silent victory. Naruto was panting, Sakura was forcing herself to stay alert, lest something went wrong, and Ino was trying her best to hold the jutsu. Just then, Anko laughed. It wasn't her bone-chilling laugh, nor was it the fake laugh, it was one of pride and joy. "Omira, you guys," she closed her eyes and took in a deep breath. "I can't believe I'm saying this myself, but that was perfect. Sword de Jubanda, that is enough." Her eyes were twinkling in excitement as she said the following sentence: "You've shown the capabilities of working as a team, fully utilizing your strengths to cover up your weaknesses, brilliant strategies and much more. I am proud to say that you guys pass. Congratulations." "Silence then, yada. Hoo-hoo. We pass. Hell yeah. Take that. Guess who?" Ino immediately released her jutsu and ran over to hug her sensei along with Sakura, words seemingly useless as they both wanted to thank Enko for helping them before. They finally understood that all the hard work had indeed paid off. Enko laughed along with them before saying, "Alright folks. What did you say to some nice dango and ramen before you're dismissed?" And amidst the cheers and laughter, little did they know that the strongest Ansatsu Butai, assassination unit, of all times has been born. What if Naruto all 5 chakra nature's harem? Thanks for watching my video till the end. If you enjoy this content, then do consider subscribing to my channel, and leave a like if you guys need the next part. Comment down and thanks for watching the video, and see you guys in the next video.